you hear that? Did I make enough noise?
It made a lot of
Good.
noise.
Made a lot of noise. Good. Welcome to We Need Wrestling, everyone. I'm DJ. Across from me via the internet is Brett.
The wonderful world of technology.
I forgot to tell you in our pre-show banter, we're at about 3 inches of snow up here.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
I don't even think we're going to get an inch.
It's not sticking to the roads even yet. I went down to the store earlier for supplies, and but like even now, even the driveway is pretty open. It's just starting now to stick to the driveway, but like the banisters and stuff have 3 inches on them.
That's insane.
So
cool. Snow sucks.
And if you drive down from the house down 115, it's maybe 3 minutes before it switches over to rain. So like it's just because we're at the highest peak in the county.
Sure, yes you are.
So yeah, so we're at about 3 inches already, just so you know.
No thanks.
Better than normal, but I mean,
that's one of the reasons why I'm home.
Yep. So we're Skyping it for a short thing. So those of you who see this know by the name, this is the annual Thanksgiving-ish crossover between ourselves and At Odds with Wrestling, the We Need At Odds Turkey Day extravaganza. It's a week early because we traveled to AEW an hour and 40 minutes from the house to Reading, Pennsylvania to watch Dynamite live. So we recorded in the car going and coming, and also on the way home from the show. That's right. Well, Brett, you're doing good in the less than 24 hours since I've seen you.
I was gonna say it's been like no, when did I get? I don't even. What the fuck time did I get home? I don't even remember.
1:45.
Yeah, so it's been not long at all.
Nope.
I'm good. I'm a little sleepy.
Okay.
May have taken a nap after work.
Good.
But other than that, I'm good, man. Just getting ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
Getting ready to start planning to pack for my vacation.
That's right. That's another good point that we haven't really discussed on this show yet. I guess we can give people a bit of a primer. Next week's episode will be Wednesday night.
Yeah, I think we could do Wednesday night.
We'll do that. We'll figure out the logistics of that whole debacle.
Yeah.
Because of Thanksgiving, obviously, but also because the day after Thanksgiving you're going on vacation, so you don't have that nighttime to dick around up here at the compound. So we're gonna get it out of the way early. Everybody can listen to us while they're making Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
And then
let me in your ears while you eat turkey.
That's right. And then the week after that, you won't even be here.
I won't be in this country.
Right. So
I'll be gone, baby, gone.
So there'll be some sort of special attraction episode then, but that's then. This is now. Is that a thing? That sounded like a thing. I
know it's a Hatebreed song.
Okay, well there you go.
Doogie Josta over there. All right.
Nope, I have both my thumbs.
Wow. Wow.
Speaking of Thanksgiving dinner, very quick also reminded me, I went to the store today and I did in fact buy our Thanksgiving turkey.
Good.
And I was looking like I do, for those who know. And I was loading my car with the groceries, and I took my turkey out of the cart to put it in the back of the car, and this very nice lady looked to maybe be in her mid-50s, in like a plaid coat, very nice. Sure, she's a wonderful mother to someone, was like, are you going to put that turkey in your freezer when you get home, or do you think it needs to start thawing out tonight? And I was like
for a week from now?
Yeah, just about. And I was like, no, it's going to go in the fridge to thaw. Just, and she was like, okay, that's true. Sometimes, you wait any longer and they don't thaw it all the way. And like, I had this turkey conversation with this lady in the grocery store parking lot while I was wearing a battle vest. It's very odd that she stopped me of all people.
Northeast PA, baby.
That's right. So
the melting pot.
I'm a turkey expert. All your turkey needs come
You
through
are
me.
you are a turkey. That is.
I am a turkey. That is true. But all right, that's enough banter. There's plenty of banter in the second 3/4 of this episode with that car ride we did yesterday. But we wanted to hop on here really quick because we do have some business to attend to for listeners, and we do have some international stuff we wanted to talk about. So, flip of the usual, if you're longtime listeners, we're going to do some questions and some international stuff first, and then everything about Dynamite and whatever else we talked about on the car ride will be after this part. So,
sure will.
Do we want to start with a question? Do we want to start with international?
Let's start with a question. All right. So this is from friend of the show, J-Pop in the Discord.
Yes.
Question for the show. Y'all ever notice Taka Michinoku had the stance and body type as same as Bob Backlund? And I've never noticed it.
Is it true though?
I'm looking it up now. I think I looked it up, but I just kind of forgot. Let's see. Taka Michinoku.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, what a spry young man he was. And I mean, he does the boom muscle pose. We bring the boom. Ugh.
Can we not?
Actually, yeah, they kind of do have like. That's weird. J-Pop, why did you notice that?
I'm trying to like find it. I don't know, like cruiserweight.
Yeah, I mean they kind of do look have the same stance.
Oh yeah, that like slight lean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Dude, they need to remake the Bob Backlund Elite. That's what they need to do.
They need to make a Taka Michinoku one.
Well, that's most importantly. That's what
we need. We need it all Kai-en-Tai.
Sign me up, brother.
All right.
I need to watch more Taka Michinoku.
Yeah. I'll allow it with the Bob Backlund comparison. I got no problems with that.
That dude, him and Sasuke from Canadian Stampede is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sasuke kicks him in the face so hard, and I love every second of it. I love it.
Taka's in the tag league right now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Who's he tagging with?
I think with Taichi.
Really? Wow.
I think
they're back to being just 4 guys.
Yeah, I guess so.
You have to update your shirt.
I know. I'm gonna have to cross it out again.
That's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Let me see if I'm lying to you though. Let me make sure. I don't know. Stevie Philip and Tomei Philip, the Natural Classics. There's people in the.
No idea.
Me either. Yep, just 4 guys: Taichi and Taka Michinoku.
Yeah, see.
Mm-hmm.
Good for Taka.
Well, we're gonna bury this tag league, I think, in a little bit, but.
I mean, it's just non-existent to me.
Well, it's existent to me, but.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to play a jingle?
Oh, we're doing another question. All right, jingle.
Yeah.
Hold on. Well, this is the first time I'm playing a jingle on my new phone. Quiet. There it is. 2 left. Whoops. I'm not used to it because, oh wait. My new phone has functioning speakers. My old one only had 1 speaker.
Yeah. Oh my God. Was that loud?
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I'm apologizing to the listeners. I'm not worried about your ears.
Oh, well, my ears are perfect.
I mean, they're beautiful, but
I've never been told that before in my life. That's a new one.
Wait until I see you the next time. You're lucky.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. So we have a question from Ed.
A 1-parter though, because he burned a 2-parter last week.
Well,
the week before.
Be prepared then, because Ed says, "Hey there, fellas, 2-part question."
Oh, Ed. This week only, buddy. Because it's you.
Did you guys see 880 and LVAC wrestler, the Pyro Prince, Junie Underwood, Acted as security on Dynamite. Pretty cool. We love that guy. What are some of your favorite indie wrestler cameos and wrestling segments? I remember Gargano being security on a Raw one time and how funny it looked on account of him being 5'3".
Ed, who's we? You got a mouse in your pocket?
Yeah, standing alone on that one, Ed.
I did notice because then I turned to everyone and said, was that fucking Junie Underwood?
Uh-huh.
And everybody's like, yep. And I was like, okay.
Yep.
I noticed, Ed.
Yeah.
I have two that immediately pop in my brain.
Okay.
The first one being MJF.
Yeah, getting shoved into a wall by Samoa Joe.
Right. But I'm going to say maybe the best one for personal reasons was when Larry Sweeney played Hulk Hogan's son.
Okay. I like that. All right.
I forget his son's name, but
Nick.
Nick Hogan, correct? Okay.
Yeah, not Brooke Teeny.
No, Nick Teeny.
It was Slick Nick, I think.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, good job on your DUIs.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Let's see, what would I pick? So he wasn't like an indie wrestler, but of course DDP driving like the Cadillac.
Yeah, sure.
That's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk being on the side of John Cena's gangster car at WrestleMania.
That's hilarious.
That's a hilarious one.
Yeah.
I think Ricky
go
Stark's
ahead.
getting beat up by Ryback. That's a good one.
Yeah. Whose entrance was it? Triple H's entrance when like Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky were like nobody NXT people.
Sure was.
Yeah.
Yep, that was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Ace Steel dress up as Donald Trump?
Did he?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Oh.
It was like had like a match against somebody dressed up like Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh my God! I just remember him biting people.
Yeah, the man who named after a dog who bites people. I love
that's right.
Yeah, I'll go with those. That's a good rundown.
Okay.
And then second part of his question.
He absolutely did. I Googled it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the hair on him makes him look like a blonde, sleazy P. Martini.
Yeah. Hell yeah, sleazy. And then I think the Bucks dressed up as Sean and Hunter one time as DX.
Oh, really?
I'm almost positive that happened too.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. A lot of weird.
Whoa, they absolutely did.
Yep.
Holy crap! The one of them even put on a fake nose to be Hunter.
Yep.
Oh, for a Miz, it was a Miz segment with Miz and Morrison.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Look at you learning good stuff tonight. I like it.
Good stuff. I don't know about that, but they even did the full entrances. Holy crap! If they weren't pieces of crap, I'd actually commend them.
Yeah, that was a thing that happened.
All right. Huh.
All right. So Ed's second part of his question.
All right, Ed. What do you got?
Who's your favorite Muppet? I saw this thing where this British lady was interviewing Elmo, and I got jealous.
Okay.
I would just love to meet and talk to Ernie. I love Ernie. I'm not like a Muppets guy at all.
Uh-huh. That's right. Everybody has flaws.
Yeah, Elmo and Ernie, isn't that Sesame Street?
So, I was hoping that you weren't going to ask that because I have very strong opinions that have been shot down at almost every turn, and they have already been sort of litigated in the Discord. For
who shoots down your opinions?
No, I don't know who it was. They discussed it. Well, Michelle shoots down my opinions all the time. So I
sided with Michelle.
I was at one point a very staunch, sort of hard-lined. The Muppets are on the Muppet Show. Everyone else are, Jim Henson creations. Because the Muppet Show is the Muppets. Sesame Street, they're not called Muppets on Sesame Street. But people like to say they are Muppets because of where they were made, and the Muppet is sort of more of a term of how they're puppeteered and whatever. It's a whole big thing. I've given up the argument because enough people have told me to shut up about it. How
many people have you talked to about this?
A lot. I love the Muppets.
Excuse me, sir, a minute of your time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100% done that.
Oh no.
So I've stopped. So I still hold those beliefs, but I've stopped sharing those beliefs until this very moment because I'm just sick of people telling me to stop.
Do you have like a secret like YouTube page or like a burner account where you just talk about like Muppet, like what classifies a Muppet?
I don't. I should, but I would absolutely get doxxed. So,
dude, you need to lean into that. Come on.
Yeah. And I love Sesame Street and I love Fraggle Rock. You know, those people. That's sort of the Muppet encompassing. There's one of my points of evidence is in Muppet Family Christmas, which is the best Muppet Christmas special. All the Muppets are gathered at Fozzie's aunt's house for Christmas, and there's a big snowstorm, and then the storm passes, and the cast of Sesame Street appears at the house, and then they all have dinner together. And my point is that when they arrive, the Muppets who are already in the house say, "Oh, it's our friends from Sesame Street." And it's like, well, why wouldn't you just call them more Muppets?
Very staunch here. All right.
But it's fine. I understand that people are probably yelling at me right now. If Michelle's in the other room can hear this, she's probably being very polite by not running in here and telling me to shut the fuck up. So, Ed, to answer your question, my favorite Muppet is Dr. Teeth. I love the Electric Mayhem. Dr. Teeth is my guy. Coincidentally, rumor has that was also Jim Henson's favorite. So, and Michelle's favorite Muppet is Rolf, in case anybody was wondering. Rolf the dog.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not like. I don't know. The Muppets were never like a thing for me as a kid.
You have a cold, dead heart, and you don't like fun and joy, correct?
I mean, yeah. Have you met me? Even like, yeah, I don't know. Fraggle Rock, I don't care. Sesame Street, didn't care. I once almost died trying to climb a dresser to get closer to Barney on my TV.
Not a Muppet.
Well, I don't know. What constitutes a Muppet?
I mean, not involved in a Muppet at all.
Okay. I don't know.
No. I will allow you to pick Sesame Street, Muppets, or a Fraggle Rock character, and that is it.
You will not allow me to do anything, sir.
Like if you say Uncle Traveling Matt, I'm going to be like, cool, Uncle Traveling Matt.
I don't know what that is. I have not a clue. I'll say Oscar the Grouch.
Okay. All right.
Let's just go with him.
All right. My heart died because you picked Sesame Street guy. But all right, that's fine. Those are the rules. So did Ed. Ed also said Elmo, and I don't give a shit. Elmo.
He said Ernie.
He picked Ernie, and I like Ernie just fine. I just never am like, oh, you know who's my favorite Muppet? Ernie the Muppet. It's just not what it is. Yeah, when I was a kid, I was afraid of Super Grover. My mom told me that every time if Super Grover would come on the TV, I would run out of the room screaming. Not regular Grover, just Super Grover.
And that started your love-hate with superheroes.
Did, yeah. I actually still, anytime anybody mentions superheroes in my presence, I still run screaming.
Like, oh, good. I'm gonna fuck with you next time you're inebriated.
Okay. It's no longer a fear, so it doesn't really...
Yeah. We'll see. Let's peel back this onion.
Me and Super Grover are tight now. We're good.
Yeah, is he a Muppet?
Well, that's some people say he's Sesame Street, so no.
Okay, so
but some people think he is.
Oh, all right. You think they're very separate?
Yes.
So you want? Never mind. I'm not going to even joke about that right now. Okay. All right. Ed, thanks so much for your question, buddy. You're a good egg. All right. Do you have anything else to add?
You're unbelievable because now I also want to make a really terrible joke.
And
I can't, and I'm not going to because the Muppet people are vicious, and we run out of any street, let alone Sesame Street. street.
That's incredible.
Yeah. All right. Jesus Christ. Thanks, Ed. You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Hey, all the new listeners from Blue Sky, welcome aboard.
Oh, Jesus. Hello.
Hashtag Russell Sky.
Hello, fellow Skeeters.
I did get a lot of traction on my Harley Graham post. So
good.
You don't know what that is? Watch Rampage in 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah. Not this week. Next week.
I mean, watch this week too because they were both good. But anyway, let's talk about what we're here to talk about, and then we can get everybody on to what they really want to hear, which is the car ride between four idiots, where one of the idiots maybe kind of, sort of, almost gets everyone killed.
I listened to that earlier today, and I giggled. That was funny.
It did not sound nearly as scary as it was for you guys.
No,
I was in control.
Oh, yeah,
I was in absolute control.
It was certainly something.
Just the place with which I was trying to control it was the wrong place.
Yeah, you were just heading down a do not enter. Oh, it's okay.
Fine. I thought it was for somebody else.
That's just for the locals.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Tamaqua, nobody cares.
Hey, I like Tamaqua. All right, let's
talk it up. Where are we going?
Do the damn thing. Where are we going? Stardom New Japan Historic Crossover Part 2.
Yeah, it's the only thing both of us watched. I mean, I watched a little bit of Japan, but yes.
Yeah, so that aired, was it Sunday morning?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I stayed up and watched most of it. I wasn't tired. And I think like once they hit the intermission before the Mayu and Mia Watanabe match, I was like, okay. I'm like, I should probably go to sleep here.
Intermission was right before that?
Yeah.
So only 2 matches after intermission?
Yes. Yep.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, and intermission was taking a while, and I'm like, okay, it's like 4 a.m. I should probably go to bed.
Yeah, that's probably a safe bet.
Yeah. So, let's see. What did I enjoy off of this? Suzu Suzuki versus the Great Okan.
Yes.
That was cool.
It was very cool.
Suzu Suzuki stapled her own cheek.
That's like my main note is that like I'm super excited that this crossover wrestling is getting really popular in Japan and other places.
Yeah.
Like the sort of like intergender, if you're gonna call it that, whatever. But like this whole match was like Great Okan like not really taking Suzu seriously, and then she stapled her own face.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And like even the crowd was like, "Oh, okay, she's a fucking crazy person."
Like,
we're now a little scared.
Yeah, like walks out carrying that plastic fork board.
Mm-hmm.
Was that she proceeds to get slammed into
off a ladder later on?
Yeah,
yeah.
This was fun.
It was fun. One of those forks went in way deeper than they thought than they wanted it to.
Yeah, like into the back of her arm. Yeah, it was kind of gross.
It's gross.
But it was a ton of fun though.
Yeah. Sadly, Suzu is not the new king of pro wrestling.
No, it's still the Great Okan.
It is still the Great Okan.
Great Okan keeping his hair and beard. So
yes.
Congratulations, Okan.
Yes.
What else was there?
Well, so early on, I'm gonna just talk really quick about my boy Taguchi.
Yes.
Because we had an 8-person tag team match of Hiroshi Tanahashi, who they should say that there was a typo on that retirement announcement.
Dude, he looked so bad.
And just put a 5. I know you said it was 2026, and just be like, we messed up. An intern typed this up. It was supposed to say 2025. Because he was practically immobile in this match.
Yeah, he was insanely slow.
But it's Tanahashi, Taguchi, and stars being Hanan and Saya Iida, the little powerhouse, the little giant, I think they call her, actually, which is very funny, versus Bullet Club War Dogs of Drilla Maloney and Gabe Kidd, and Hate of Natsuko Tora and Saya Kamatani.
Yes.
Now, a lot of things that I didn't know, and there's English commentary on this, which is really nice.
It was awesome.
Because that's where I learned that Taguchi came out with a cardboard belt.
Yes.
And it's because he is telling everyone that he's the 4th member of the 3-man tag team champions.
Yes, he is.
So there you go.
God bless him.
And then he Taguchi, that is, immediately falls in love with Saya Kamatani.
I mean, those of us
right.
who haven't, I mean, come on.
He is completely enamored with her. And at one point, he goes to hit her with the funky weapon until the referee stops him because it would be a disqualification.
Yep.
Which was very funny. Taguchi being hilarious. Everyone played that role really well. I liked all of this sort of because they did a lot of ref distractions, so the women can fight the men. And I liked Iida trying to chop down Drilla Maloney.
That was a fun spot.
And like it worked like briefly, like he did sell and sort of go down and like that. And then Saya Kamatani takes Taguchi into the crowd and whips him into the chairs. She does the old Stardom whip into the crowd.
And he sells it like he's dead.
He does. So he like poses really stiff with his arm out.
It's like he passed out.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, what a guy.
Yeah. And then the end of the match, basically, and it was a great missed job. Tora missed. Tora stops Taguchi, and then he moves out of the way, and Tanahashi gets misted.
Yeah.
In the face, covered in mist. Great, like full body mist.
Like a dark blue mist.
Yeah. And then Gabe Kidd beats up Taguchi and wins. And Taguchi remains the best, but he's not matching up against a guy like Gabe Kidd.
No.
At least not.
Gabe Kidd
right
rules.
Now. Absolutely. And then not supporting Tai Chi versus Clark Connors and Thekla. It's fine.
It went too long.
Yeah, it went too long. I liked when like watching Thekla beat up Tai Chi, and I liked Tai Chi when he became Dangerous T very briefly.
Yes.
That wasn't much. But the match that you're telling me came after intermission.
Yeah, dude.
Being Mayu Iwatani versus Momo Watanabe.
Brother. For the IWGP Women's Championship.
Yeah. Momo Watanabe's like 24 years old or something.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Lots of high profile matches for Momo.
Yeah, because she wrestled Mercedes.
Yep.
The
New Japan show in DC.
Yeah, the DC show, yeah.
Yeah, this was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it ruled.
They beat each other up real hard.
A lot of kicks that I was like, oh, is somebody mad?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think was it Mayu hits like a half Nelson suplex on the apron.
Mm-hmm.
And Momo lands directly on her head.
Yes.
And it's insane.
Yeah, and there was a brief part in the beginning of this match where Hate got like really involved, and I was like, please stop. But I like the rest of it where they're just like minor inconveniences. You know, the ref distraction, the occasional like misdirect, that kind of stuff I'm okay with. But like when they're completely involved, bothers the shit out of me. But like Momo at one puts Mayu in the tree of woe later in this match.
Yeah.
It just kicks her right in the face.
Directly in her face.
Hard.
Yeah.
And Mayu's mouth, I think, was already busted open by that point.
Yeah, it was.
Like just a lot of stiff kicks. This is like at the end of this match, they're all like drenched in sweat, like just absolutely exhausted.
They're spent. Yeah, I agree.
And like
they're spent.
I was too. Like this was an exhausting match. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Really, really great match. No shocker there coming out of from Mayu Iwatani. And we were big fans of Momo. We've liked all Momo.
Yep. Momo
Kogo is now a member of Taguchi Japan.
Well, yeah, you guys had the official meeting and allowed her in.
Right.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you what, like, every time I watch Mayu Iwatani, I'm just like, how are you this good?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's unbelievable, like, how good at this you are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love her so much.
Yeah, and like Momo being 24 is insane.
Yeah.
Like this match was fucking awesome. If you can get it, find it, go out of your way. Watch if you have to watch one off of this card. If you have to watch, honestly, I'm gonna say if you're like, I don't know what world you live in that this is a thing, but if you're like, I can only really watch one wrestling match this entire week,
this would be the one.
This would be the one.
Yeah, I agree with that. This would absolutely be the one.
Yeah, it's really fantastic professional wrestling.
Yeah, and then the main event, Zack Sabre Jr. and Micah
Yes.
going up against El Desperado and Starlight Kid.
Hmm.
I love that Despy and Starlight Kid do like the half masks of each other.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I love when they team up. Like they have that
Yeah.
like cool relationship where they sort of always do that. And it just works so well. Particularly with Starlight being a baby face now.
Yeah.
And like commentary talking about like Despy sort of working hurt for 2 years, so he needed the time off at this year, and
Yeah, this was his first match back.
yeah. Yeah, and like I love Despy. Despy's the guy. If he stays healthy, I imagine that the junior belt's going to come back around his waist at some point.
Yeah, Wrestle Kingdom, brother.
Yeah. Is it set up him Dookie?
Yeah, him and Doki, yeah.
Doki, because that Doki's the guy who beat him, so
yeah, I think they'll put it back on Despy.
I think so too. I think he needs that big run.
And I want to be like, hey Gato, for the love of God, just please run with him.
Mm-hmm. He's fantastic. He's absolutely
enough of this.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. And this was fun. New Japan, Japanese wrestling in general do stick very much to that, like, a junior is not going to be able to hang against a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Even if their sizes are pretty comparable sometimes.
Yeah, and New Japan's definitely let up a bit on that.
Yeah.
Lately. Like Hiromu facing Hanare, Hiromu being in the G1. So like Shingo kind of transitioned to heavyweight.
Right, and Shingo is sort of the example of that because, like, while he's thick, like, he's not a very big guy. So, like, standing next to someone, a junior weight like a Taguchi or somebody, it's like, it doesn't look like there's much of a difference, if any, here. Yeah. But in ring work wise, there's still sort of like this. Listen, the story you're telling is that it's going to be harder for you because you're a junior and he's a heavyweight.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and which is fine.
It was a fun main event, though.
Yeah, it was fun. Sabre Jr.'s great. Despy's great. Like, I love those guys so much. And of course, Micah rules.
Micah getting the pin on Starlight Kid.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Oh, and I forgot to bring this up after the IWGP Women's Championship match. Did you see the post match?
Was it Azumi?
Yeah, so
it's gonna be
Mayu versus Azumi on Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, on Wrestle Kingdom? Oh,
yeah, dude. So Wrestle Kingdom is on a Saturday this year.
Oh.
Wrestle Dynasty's on a Sunday.
Okay.
That end stretch of because I know Stardom's doing 2 shows. I think they might be doing a January 3rd show.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. The New Year's Dash is on that Monday, so I can't. Just bring it to me.
So so that's going to be for us then. It's going to be like overnight Friday into Saturday, and then overnight Saturday into Sunday. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah. Oh,
that's nice. We'll have to call in the favors and get the crew.
Oh yeah, let's party. I can't wait.
Yeah,
can't wait.
Fun.
That's all the Japanese wrestling I had. I know you watched Tag League for a specific reason.
So I watched the Tag League, the one match, because Alex Zane is entering the Tag League without a tag partner because Lance Archer is unavailable, so they cannot reunite Monster Sauce. So Alex Zane's tag partner was going to be X, and X ended up being my hero and yours, Raisuke Taguchi, in green jacket or vest, furry jacket, green glasses with his hair spiked up, new gear to match Alex Zane's. I'm assuming they're going to be called Funky Sauce.
They are, yes, they are Funky Sauce.
They are Funky Sauce.
Officially listed as Funky Sauce.
And in night 1, they wrestled Shingo and Yota Tsuji.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
And it was really great, genuinely really great. But this is sort of why I was talking about the heavyweights,
Mm-hmm.
Alex Zane, is a pretty cut guy. So him next to Shingo, you don't think that they're 2 different weight classes according to New Japan, but they are. And Shingo and Yota do get that advantage, but Taguchi is just the best and the funniest wrestler, and just plays his part so well. And when he was X, when he came out the crowd like was so happy. Like everybody just smiled.
Yeah.
Like everybody was just so pumped to see him.
That makes me happy.
Yeah. So because he really is that good.
Is that damn good?
And like I think that's a cool tag team to have like in the tag league because they are juniors. But it like I don't know,
And
it's just
the
like
the tag league like is notoriously piss poor.
yeah, right. Yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, we got Bishamon is back in it, and then we have maybe the worst tag team in the world of Chase Owens and Kenta.
Ugh.
And then it's Shooter Umino and Hanma.
Like, what are we doing?
Right? Jeff Cobb and Will Cosplay.
Oh, wonderful.
Shingo and Yoda, which is a really good pick to win the whole thing, right?
That's a good team.
Zack Sabre Jr. and Oiwa, also a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe Kidd and Sonata.
That's a good team.
New Bullet Club thing there. Okan and Hanare.
Good team.
Taka and Taichi.
That's an alright team.
It's weird. I guess Yumura's hurt, so yeah. Oh yeah, we knew that.
Well, yeah, he got hurt. He got hurt in the G1.
Yeah. Shane Haste, Mikey Nichols.
Okay, yeah.
Naito and Hiromu.
Oh, Naito.
We're putting Naito through that. Tanahashi and Jado.
Jeez, dude, that's like negative movement.
Yeah.
Neither of those guys can move at all.
It's rough.
Yikes.
It's really rough.
Why would they do that?
Then this Tomei and Stevie Philippe. They're Australian.
Okay, yeah. I think they worked
yeah.
What's his face? Fale shows.
Yeah, yeah. And then Yano, Bolton, Oleg.
I mean, that's kind of hilarious.
And then Ren Narita and Evil.
Oh God! You want to talk about negative there?
Negative charisma.
Oh my God!
So it's rough, but I'm gonna be watching as much Taguchi as I possibly can because I love him. So.
Well, you missed the match from this morning, so you have to go back and watch it.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, I don't know who they wrestled, but
all right, I'll figure it out. I'll watch. But that's really it, right, pal? We got nothing else.
That's it.
No questions, no nothing. So let's not keep these people any longer.
No.
Enjoy the car ride to, and a brief section of the car ride from Dynamite with again Joe and Adam from At Odds. Follow those guys. Check their Patreon. Do all that stuff. Check us out at We Need Wrestling. Email the show, WeNeedWrestling@gmail.com, WeNeedWrestling.com, We Need Wrestling on Blue Sky and all that. And, we'll be back next week early for a little Thanksgiving pregame.
Sure will be.
Goodbye.
I guess I'm going to do the intro here.
I guess so, yeah.
Right.
You are the godfather of the network.
Hey, everybody. This is the joint We Need Wrestling, At Odds with Wrestling pre-Thanksgiving show. Since we're, I guess, going to do regular shows for Thanksgiving. And we're currently on our way to AEW Dynamite, the Dynamite Go Home for Full Gear. This is Joe.
Hi, I'm Adam.
This is Brett.
I'm DJ, and this is the sound of my voice.
What's this,
there
fucking
you go.
wings on wings? What
Hey,
is
hang
happening here? Oh,
Had to open
son of
that
a
up.
bitch.
I got
Cracking one for the working man.
That's right. Got a Rainbow Rain.
Ooh,
They were
man.
on sale at the local convenient mart. Buy two get one free. So I'm going to be jacked today.
Fuck yeah.
You're
Yeah.
a regular Jacked Jameson.
Oh boy.
Oh, good.
One can only
great.
dream. This one's all right. So hey, guys, what's going on, everybody? God damn it! Somebody didn't turn their phone on. Like an asshole.
Oh, Joe didn't mute his phone.
There we go. That's all right. That's all right.
Of all the people.
So what is going on? I don't know. We're heading to Dynamite in beautiful Reading, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
At the Santander Arena.
That's right.
Have any of you been to the Santander before?
I don't think I've ever been to Reading before. Actually, no, I was at Reading for King of Trios, wasn't I?
Was that,
That-
Reading
yeah, that
or
was
Easton?
Easton.
Oh, okay.
Didn't-
Then
yeah.
I've probably never been to Reading.
Didn't we come to Reading for AEW before?
Yeah, we came here for the collision taping.
Was it
I
Collision?
didn't come here.
No, that was Allentown.
Yeah. Was it? Oh, was it Allentown?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think they've been to Reading before.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, so this is the Santander Arena.
Yeah.
We were here for what, Slayer?
I've seen
at one
Slayer
time?
here.
I saw Ringo Starr here.
Okay.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Yeah. This is the go home for the show for Full Gear, which we're also going to be at on Saturday.
Yeah.
My first pay-per-view ever of any type.
Oh, nice.
Oh, shit. Look at that.
Crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been to Raw, SmackDown, Nitro, a couple AEW shows, but
First pay. DJ, what was your face? You've been to pay-per-view? Yeah, I was with you at Full Gear.
Full Gear.
That was your first one? Okay.
The one that we went to 2 years ago,
Yeah,
right?
with Eddie and Akiyama.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about you, Joe?
The first pay-per-view I went to was In Your House Mind Games
Jeez. That's so
in 1996.
Oh, look at me. I'm Joe. I've been a wrestling fan longer than anybody else.
No, listen. I've just been alive longer than everybody
That's
else.
true.
That's the only reason why. But Brett, did you say what your first pay-per-view was?
No, so if I remember correctly, it might have been like a SummerSlam in one of the ones where they did like the Brooklyn residency. It's the one where Lesnar busted Randy Orton hard way.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And it was so cool.
That was like a long time into your fandom.
Yeah, I didn't. So for a long time, I didn't honestly have a ton of friends that wanted to go to
Yeah.
wrestling shows outside of Chikara.
Oh, okay.
Which hey, no problem, love it. But I never got to go to an old school Ring of Honor show. Because that heyday, I was still in high school.
I was going to ask, obviously pay-per-views don't count, but was there any Ring of Honor pay-per-views that you had gone to? Because Ring of Honor at the time was doing real pay-per-views as well, but obviously not.
No, unfortunately, no. I remember going to Chikara shows and stuff, but what was the one at the arena? Chikarasaurus Rex? Was it night 2 that was at the arena?
Yeah, was that the one that was the...
It was Johnny Singh, Johnny Kid tagged?
Yeah, with Quack and Cabana.
Yes. Yeah, that was a fun one. So I don't know. We're just kind of loosey-goosey on this format, right?
Yeah.
this is 4-way banter right here. You can't beat that.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, and
how was everybody's weeks?
So I've never been to one. I would never got to go to a Nitro, which is a great regret of mine because all the best Nitros happen in Wilkes-Barre.
That's the truth. The best Nitro happened.
Yeah.
And Raw, I never got to go to any of those shows in Wilkes-Barre until just a few years ago, like a house show at WWE. But prior to that, my first WWE show was at the CYC.
Yeah.
So, but I had never gone. ECW at the Kingston Armory.
Yep, I was there too.
AEW coming soon to the Kingston Armory.
Let's hope.
Oh. Well, they have that's and obviously we're gonna bounce around here.
Yeah.
But they released everybody was we talked about it last week where they canceled the Collision that was going to be in Columbus,
Right.
and then they moved it to be part of GalaxyCon.
Yeah.
And in that 6 hours in between them canceling it and announcing it as part of the convention, people are like, oh, AEW's done. They haven't announced any dates past December. There's the end of the company. They're fucking done. And everybody's like, come on. And then just this week, they released the first set of schedule up until March, the end of March, right?
Yeah.
So, it's newer venues, older venues, smaller venues and stuff, which is something that they should have been doing a year ago. But a lot of times it's not that easy to just do that. It's just we're going to move the venue. Obviously, in this instance, with the Columbus venue, they were able to. But, sometimes you got to, schedule those buildings 6 to 9 months in advance.
Yeah.
So, you can only project. I always think back to watching. And, Brett, we talked when you and I went to Collision recently, how you were rewatching the 97, 98 WF.
Yep.
So, obviously, 95, 96 wasn't a great time for WWF. So they were booking buildings accordingly going into 97, and then 97 into 98 it hits, and they're running all these shit venues until April, May of 98, where they kind of reposition and okay, we can start booking the 15,000 seat buildings for Raw every week again.
Yeah.
That's just the way that wrestling has always been. It's just because of social media and stuff, we're more aware of it, and more people are aware of it than it was,
And more people put emphasis on it because of social media, which it's. I don't care how many people are at the shows. I don't know. As long as they're good, it's all I care about.
Yeah, listen. We can get into that a little bit with news and stuff.
Yeah.
But, I got a couple things for this day in wrestling history.
All right.
Where is the monitor for my Kelly Kelly clips?
No, I do apologize. She does accompany Phil to the ring on the episode of ECW TV, and she does have a cat fight with Ariel. That was the one who's with Kevin Thorne, the vampire.
You've got to explain to me who Ariel is.
All right. It was more so for myself, but yeah. So I apologize. Like, I'll remind you. I'll send you the timestamps to go back and watch that on your own.
All right. Independent study.
Yes, the episode of ECW TV that lines up with us, real ECW, the 1995 ECW. This is the Lights Out, Lights On from November to Remember, Return of Sabu.
Oh, hell yeah.
On TV, which I think is the first time like Lights Off, Lights On was like done in the big three, I guess, if you would say, like WWF, ECW, for like a surprise like that.
Yeah, because WWF, they never really did that before.
Yeah.
You know?
And I don't think WCW did, like, there might have been like one of the Black Scorpion angles, but that was probably like a fuck up.
Oh, yeah. Including that whole angle. Oh.
Yeah, WCW was doing it a lot towards the end, but that was just because they couldn't afford their bills.
Well,
come on.
Well, again, but again.
Too soon.
So now another one. This day, in 1988.
I was going to say, because Adam is so outnumbered in this car, we can go to the time before.
Well, again, so this day in 1988 is when the ink was dried on the contract of Ted Turner buying NWA.
Wow.
Officially. Like, this is the day that, like, the filing was done and the paperwork was done and everything else like that. Now, they don't change the name to World Championship Wrestling for, like, almost another 2 years, but he was in charge, like, going into 89, which the beginning of 89 was a little rough. Then Steamboat comes in and everything else like that, but it's crazy to think that it was that long that Ted Turner owned the company before they like officially started making like big grand sweeping changes and changing it from NWA to World Championship Wrestling, because the longest time the TV show was called World Championship Wrestling. It was World Championship Wrestling with the stars of the NWA was what it was called, and then they eventually dropped the NWA by like late 90, early 91, I think.
Ted Turner at the helm of the greatest feud in professional wrestling history. It's remarkable. Flair Funk, 89.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. And I guess there was a Ted Turner documentary that was out recently, and there's like literal no mention of wrestling in it.
How? How?
Because he did so much other crazy shit that like he had such little to do with what was going on in wrestling. Like, he was a fan, and I remember like in the After Mags there was like a posed picture with him and like the roster and stuff, and then there was a separate one that was like him and Flair. And then 94, when they bring in Hogan, they did the bit where Ted Turner was in the crowd at center stage.
Yeah.
And that Ted Turner oversaw the contract signing with Flair and Hogan. But that was like really it for Ted Turner's like active involvement on screen as a character in WCW.
I used to love the talking, like the go-to talking head WWE documentary whenever they talk about WCW. Vince was like, Ted called me and he said, I'm in the wrestling business. And I said, well, I'm in the entertainment business. We're in two different businesses.
God damn it, I had a drink in my mouth because I was going to do the Vince. Well, that's great, Ted.
That's great.
I'm in the entertainment business.
Fucking ugh.
What business are you in now, Vince?
Oh, God.
There's a lot of business he's in right now. Just none of it's getting good.
And the only other thing from this day in wrestling history 25 years ago was the first Russo official pay-per-view of the Russo era. You know, obviously he kind of was doing maintenance booking with Halloween Havoc, but this was 25 years ago, was WCW Mayhem.
Oh, we call those the golden years.
Yeah,
Yes.
nobody does.
I guess you got a mouth in your pocket.
The start of the golden age.
But that was after, you know, the first time that Russo stripped everyone of the titles, and they did a bunch of mini tournaments. And they did the bit where the main event of this was Benoit versus Brett for the vacant title.
Yes.
And Roddy was the referee, and they redid the Montreal Screwjob again.
Copy an A, get an A?
That's right, yeah.
At that point, it was like 2 years after the fact, it was diminishing returns. And people are still doing like Montreal Screwjob homages to this very day.
Speaking of Mayhem, was that like the only, I think that was the only WCW show called Mayhem, wasn't it? Yeah,
And then the video game, right?
Yeah, so actually, speaking of the video game,
Oh, boy.
that's a segue into something here. Marcus asked us a question.
Oh.
I don't have any Marcus jingles, I'm sorry.
Marcus.
Oh, no, wait, I do. Steroids are awesome. I don't care what anybody says.
I hate little wrestlers.
little
I
guys.
don't like little wrestlers. Call me a hater. I don't care how good you are.
He'll appreciate this. So he asked, what were all of our favorite wrestling video games?
Ooh, I know right off the bat. WCW versus NWO on the N64.
Revenge?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was the first N64 one, right?
That was my answer
World
as
Tour
well.
was the first. Was the
well,
first
World
one.
Tour was on the PS1.
No, that's versus the world.
Oh.
Yeah, World Tour is on N64,
Okay,
then Revenge.
World Tour's the first N64
Yeah.
one.
So that was World Tour.
Okay,
Yeah.
my apologies. Yeah, but that one, the fact that you can just like, I started that game as Goldberg against Rey Mysterio because I was like, I want to have the biggest guy versus the smallest guy, and like I just ran over and speared Rey and jackhammered him and won, and I was like, this is the greatest game ever.
Yeah, mine was WCW NWO Revenge. So I was explaining to him today, I was like, oh, I didn't have a Nintendo 64 growing up. Friends down the street had it. And I would just say, like, oh, cool, I'm just staying at your house this weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm playing this all weekend. Hope you don't mind. Man, that was the best.
Is Revenge the one where you have like certain people have title belts right out of the game, like right out of the rip, and like if you beat them, then your character has the belt? Like I remember Raven being the U.S. champion in one of them right out of the package.
Raven's on the cover of Revenge.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Revenge that I love. I don't know. They were both awesome.
Yeah, it was all the heavy hitters. Hulk Hogan, Goldberg, Kevin Nash,
Raven.
You know the story behind
I do,
that.
yes.
That's so good. But yeah, I'm going to say Revenge as well, because not just because Raven's on the package and you got a cut of the fucking money for the
Yeah.
game. But I think the reason I like that one more is because the, not the creative character, but like the customizable thing for the characters was a little bit robust than the World Tour.
World Tour didn't have one.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
World Tour carried over the extended roster of dupes because they're ports from Japanese games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you had like just like Versus the World did on PlayStation 1, you're like, oh, this guy's Kenta Kobashi, this guy's this guy, all those sort of things. I have the fondest memories playing those Nintendo 64 games, so probably Revenge for me also, but like Fire Pro changed my life for the Dreamcast, Fire Pro Wrestling D.
Yeah.
Was just such a thing that was just like, oh my god, this is crazy. Because of the lesser graphics, which the lesser, it's a matter of opinion compared to Revenge and World Tour, but just the customization of it, the amount of people, all that stuff, and being a young tape trader, being like, oh my god, I can play a video game as these guys, is just super cool. But Revenge, definitely the most fun I have.
Yeah, the more I think about it, my the N64 game that I'm reminiscing didn't have the Japanese bootleg people in it, so it was definitely Revenge.
Yeah.
Revenge had the full roster.
All right. Now, obviously none of us picked a WWF game, but like if you had to pick your favorite WWF game, because I'm sure that's going to be Marcus's pick, because Marcus, and he's like a young lad, so it was like 2K something, on the PS3. But
SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain.
Yeah. No, seriously, that's mine.
That was the last good WWF game for a long time, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So some of the SmackDown versus Raw games were decent, but man, SmackDown Here Comes the Pain,
Awesome.
because that was the one with Ultimo Dragons in it, Scott Steiner, Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, obviously. I loved that game so much. Oh, it was so good.
Now, is it Day of Reckoning? What was the? It was
That
for
was
the
on GameCube.
Okay, Adam, do you have that one?
I played it, but I don't.
The reason I ask you is because
The Stan Cox in it? Stacey
Keebler's on the cover
She's on
of the
the cover.
game.
I've seen that, and
Yeah.
I've thought about buying a copy, just like either a sealed one or a Lucy to put up on the shelf, but it's at the bottom of my save search list.
All right.
If I had to do a WWF one, like I never really got into any of the, let's just call it like disc era, like PS2, PS1. Like I just felt like the controls always stunk on them. So,
Oh, dude, they were terrible
And I'm
on
an
some
old
of
man,
them.
so I'm gonna go WWF Royal Rumble for the Sega Genesis.
Dude,
Nice.
so that's the first wrestling video game I ever had.
I played the shit out of that game.
That game was also very hard.
Yes.
Super hard.
I remember Shawn Michaels with his patented finishing move, the atomic drop.
That's
no, I'm
right.
sorry, it was a side suplex.
Yeah, it was
side
when,
suplex.
that's when he was using the teardrop
Yeah.
suplex. Yeah. My first game was Royal Rumble, but yeah, for WWF, if we are picking a best one, I go Here Comes the Pain as well.
Now, how about DJ mentioned the Fire Pro game, specifically the one for the Dreamcast. I still say pro wrestling for the NES holds up.
I love it. Yep.
The Tecmo World Wrestling one for the NES is still really good too. Like with the training stuff and the cutaways with the commentary and stuff. There was a bunch of really good, like, non-licensed wrestling games. I like the Ultimate Muscle one for the GameCube. I think that one's a lot of fun. Like the cell-shaded graphics and stuff, which was like the hallmark of it.
Yeah.
It was, again, not real wrestling, but it's wrestling, same difference.
Does anybody have like a worst wrestling video game you've ever
Fight
played?
Forever.
No, it's not nearly as bad as Backstage Assault.
Yeah, the WCW games on the PS1.
Yep, the ECW game is horrible.
The ECW, because that was just them reskinning Attitude.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Which Attitude was terrible as well.
Attitude was fucking awful.
Attitude was only good because of the cutaway scenes.
Yeah, so like,
And the Ahmed Johnson promos.
oh, that was Warzone.
Oh, Warzone, that's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
So
I was just saying, it was cool to have like, I have all 3 faces of Foley at my disposal. And like, that's a great novelty, but then you had to play the game. Then the bell rang.
yeah, I have like weird like fond memories of Attitude because I remember getting it for my birthday that year. But I remember it got delayed because did they have to take Owen out of the game, or I remember like when he started the game up, it said the in memory of Owen Hart.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Maybe they had Blue Blazer in there as a skin or something.
Yeah, they might have, and I had that, and but yeah, hitting like right, up, left, right, triangle to hit a Stone Cold Stunner.
It was Mortal Kombat rules.
I hate it the most. My blood is boiling. All I ever wanted to do was the Pro River Plunge.
Yeah.
That was it. All I ever wanted to do was be Ahmed Johnson and hit the goddamn Pro River Plunge. But it was a 12-button combination that you had to memorize, and I could never do it. I hate it.
Yeah.
You weren't a real member of the Pro River
No,
Posse.
I wasn't.
Now, have you guys ever seen, because I went down the YouTube rabbit hole of this, there are bootleg N64 ROMs of using like the N64 wrestling engine, but it's like, here's 200 wrestlers on the cartridge.
I've seen it, yep.
I was watching one the other night, and it was all like stars of like the early 90s, and it had like Terry Funk in it, and Hayabusa. And
Yeah, you can get translated ports of the original Japanese games, and then you can get all these now that like people like $40 on eBay or whatever. I think, and that's really cool. I never went in for
My
it.
fear is buying one and then having it not work, and then me just sitting there with my dick in my hand, just going, "Oh man, this sucks." All right, well, Marcus, thank you for the question. We appreciate you. If I remember correctly, I think he said his favorite was WCW Mayhem.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. My response was, "Hey, any video game that puts Bobby Blaze as an active member of the roster, let's go." I'm happy with that.
Oof.
All right, what do you got next, Joe? Anything?
All right, that's all I got for this day in wrestling history.
Anybody Google the news?
I do actually have news.
Ooh.
We were talking before. We're not going to get political stuff, but a World Wrestling entertainer was put on the cabinet for the current administration coming in, and I'm sure that'll work out well for all parties involved. Just throwing that out there.
She was in the last time too, so
Yeah. I heard somebody say it's like, yeah, she was in politics before. It's like, no, she ran for politics,
Right.
and she failed.
Yeah.
And this is,
she did run the something with the education department in Connecticut many years ago. So there you go.
I think I saw Meltzer tweet out today. He said who's going to be the first legit journalist to report on her fake education degree. I said, all right,
None.
There we go.
Not going to happen.
No, it'll never happen. Not at all.
we talked before about AEW announcing their schedule for the first half of 2025. They also, I think a couple weeks ago at least, announced that they were going to be running the Final Battle at the Manhattan Center.
Yes.
Not the Manhattan Center.
Hammerstein.
Hammerstein Ballroom, and then they're going to do Collision and something else. Like, they're going to be there for 3 days.
That's awesome.
And some people are upset about it. Well, one guy in particular is upset about it.
Yeah, young Manny Fernandez.
He wishes, first of all. But Effie...
Actually, a middle-aged Manny
Not on
Fernandez.
his best day.
I was thinking the other day, whatever happened to Effie's shitty podcast? And then, it came back with a vengeance this week, where he got into a whole thing saying about how AEW is doing this on purpose to try to fuck GCW. AEW has no buzz currently. GCW is more financially sound or is more profitable than AEW. Now, at last I checked, as of this recording, I don't know how many. I don't know if tickets have gone on sale for the final battle yet.
Okay.
But I know for the GCW show at the Hammerstein Ballroom, they have sold 641 tickets.
Okay.
What's the capacity?
What was that?
What's the capacity for Hammerstein?
Triple that.
Yes, I thought so.
Tickets are very pricey. It's a little difficult when you're running your return to this building after being there 3 years ago, saying, "Hey, this time it's not going to suck."
What an interesting pitch for this show.
Right.
I'm sure tickets will pick up once they announce what Bully Ray is going to be doing.
Right.
You know,
Ray Deadly versus
JBL?
Broski.
Yeah. A VIP package. You pay extra $50. Ray Deadly will call you a slur.
Right. Ooh, cool.
Fancy.
But, and then I saw like this past weekend, GCW ran some shows in Florida, maybe. They have a very busy schedule. Their crowds are, very well attended, but to say that AEW has less buzz than GCW is wild to even say publicly. And listen, I'm a company man. When I worked for Chikara, I towed that company line, but I didn't say stuff that would make me look ridiculous. As a, AIW person, when I actively work for them and LVAC, but I'm not going to go out there and say stuff that like is going to make me look and sound stupid or ridiculous, but I'm not Effie. And listen, Effie was on the last LVAC show, and I've shared a locker room with him, and I don't need to be friends with everybody, and I'm not questioning his character, I'm questioning his opinion, which I disagree with in regards to all of this, but the main issue here is for him to say that GCW is more profitable than AEW is wild to think about as well, because so AEW, and I'm gonna tread lightly here. So AEW just signed a giant TV deal with Warner Brother Discovery, where they're going to be on Max, and they're going to have all this other stuff. And allegedly, Ring of Honor might be on True TV. Allegedly. Whereas GCW just signed a very big deal with Fight, Triller, whatever, right? Where Triller kind of got rid of pretty much all the other indies that they were working with, or essentially told them to go like, not only are we not giving you more money, we want to negotiate for less money, but gave all that money to GCW. And Brett's whole thing with GCW is he wants to be the next ECW. And I know we're on our way to a show for AEW in the middle of the week, and a lot of this is because Mike Burns of Smart Mark Video told Brett that he's seen them come and he's seen them go of all these people that try to be the next ECW and they all fail.
Yeah.
And Brett for the longest time had that as like his pinned tweet on social media, and he started the speech before that Hammerstein show.
Oh, dude, the infamous red chair.
Right.
Cool.
So he has been chasing that, but the problem is he's already achieved it. He is the next ECW, but not in the way that he thinks that it is. He's the next ECW in the way that he's Paul Heyman. He's keeping all the money for himself and lying to everyone else about how GCW is profitable. If by that you mean like Brett has two houses.
Right. What I was going to say, do you think Effie and Alley Catch will be the Chris Candido, Tammy Sitch to Lauderdale's Heyman? And by that I mean have tens of thousands of dollars of credit card debt racked up and no chance of ever going to get paid back.
Who other than Broski on the GCW roster do you think can get approved for a credit card?
Jimmy Lloyd.
Yeah, Jimmy Lloyd's parents are probably
Jimmy
very
Lloyd's
nice people.
probably. Dan Spacehausen.
He might have to have Phil co-sign, but
Sure.
he can get one.
But that's so like, everybody talks about like, oh, GCW is the indie with all the storylines and stuff. And I looked over the storylines, and the storylines are currently Broski's a heel GM of the company. He's also aligned with Mance Warner, who is the champion, who hates GCW, but he works the GCW style for some reason. And their most two recent biggest angles were Alley Catch returned after being away for reasons and turned as a surprise and turned on Effie. And then Blake Christian returned, I didn't even know he was gone, as a surprise and turned on someone. So I guess like one person's opinion of creative is different than another's. We could talk about Drake Younger trying to attack John Wayne Murdoch in the parking lot before the show because GCW had the nerve to come and run a show in his neighborhood, his neck of the woods. And John Wayne Murdoch has like talked a bunch of shit on Drake Younger and Necro Butcher, to which I say, join the club.
I didn't know GCW ran in flop houses. Drake Younger's neck of the woods.
Right. And, you know, Janela kind of defended, of course, John Wayne Murdoch, and I get it. And, you know, I thought Drake had kind of turned his life around. Did anyone watch the Facebook Live thing that he did afterwards?
Sure didn't.
I'll just say maybe his adrenaline was really pumping. And that's why he seemed like agitated and sweaty and shaky.
He was hyper-focused.
Yeah. You know, obviously if I went and confronted someone in the parking lot and attempted to attack them before a show and then went on Facebook Live, I would probably be jazzed as well. But I don't know, man, like, and just today, after the Effie stuff was really hitting, I saw a bunch of the GCW people tweeting out, like, you know, here's the clip from the video that they did where they're all on trial for their bad show that 80% of the people in the new video weren't even on that show. I don't know why they're being tried for the crimes of GCW in general. Again, it's all very confusing. I still don't think Broski was in the same room with everyone when they filmed the vignettes.
Definitely
Doing
not.
chair acting for the green screen.
Broski is the Neil Breen of our generation. But I don't know, man. Like GCW should like focus on like, instead of telling us that they're gonna put on a good show, like actually put on a good show. And, you know, Brett is in bed with WWE, and for like his people to go out there and like shit on AEW is very transparent.
Sure is.
It's very much like when ECW was in bed with WWF and they would do WWF angles on their show and then shit all over WCW, who was the number 2 at the time, and AEW is the number 2 at this current time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I like Dom Guarini and I like Kevin Koo. They're nice guys. They're GCW dudes, but they also wrestle a bunch of other places. I hope they make a lot of money.
Sure.
And that's it. I hope the GCW show sells out. I hope it's successful. I hope it's not like a JBL, Baron Corbin, Ray Deadly, Broski fest.
You know what? I kind of hope it is.
So secretly, I hope it is.
Yeah.
But publicly, I hope it's not. I hope it's the people that actually did bust their asses and work hard to get GCW to be what it is today, or whatever they think GCW is today, right? That's all.
I'll be watching it by legal means, I assure you.
Has GCW gotten a WID yet?
The legendary WID? I don't
Yes.
think so.
No.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't keep track of that sort of thing. There was the AI guy that they signed this past week out of Paul Roma's school.
Yeah.
Who's not real.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think.
He's real. He's every high school quarterback that gets a leg injury before the big game.
Yeah.
And the backup needs to come in.
I want to watch Friday Night Lights now. Break you down.
Let's go. I'm down. Let's do it.
But like that's the only real big thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's wrestling adjacent, I guess, because it was fake as a football bat, as some people would say. Does anybody want to talk about the
Tyson?
the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight from this past week?
I'll just say, I've been very vocal about this before. The reason why I don't do commentary anymore is because I realized, at least in my opinion, that I was stealing money from the company, and that there's never been somebody as bad at commentary as myself. I contribute nothing. Long periods of silence.
Male category.
Now I officially have the male category.
Okay.
Because there is a caveat that Rosie Perez was able to do commentary.
dare you.
Number one, how dare you?
Was able to do commentary.
Number
in
2, where do you
front
get
of
off?
Millions and millions and millions of households. And she puts like the guy who's the guy who was like, how much does that guy weigh? He was
Art Donovan.
Yeah.
Art Donovan.
He's a
came
saint.
off,
Art
like,
Donovan's a saint.
Art Donovan was Gorilla Monsoon compared to her.
That's like it's like 2 steps above,
Yeah.
especially in that era.
What the hell was it? The one was this Family Feud host who did commentary on Survivor?
Ray Combs.
Ray
Yeah,
Combs.
that when he that's my favorite line when he hit him with a weenie slap.
Yeah. I turned it on during the co-main event, the women's
What a
boxing
great
match.
fight that was.
Yeah,
So
that was
good.
really good
That was
fight.
really good.
So good.
Totally fixed because the one who
I
won.
could not
believe that.
Absolute wrong decision, but hell of a fight.
But from me watching from that point on, I did count 3 Mamma Mias. That was my unofficial count.
Dude, he's the worst.
I hate him.
Oh, he's so bad.
I feel bad that people are convinced. Like, I feel bad for the people that think Morrow's good.
Oh,
That's who I feel bad for. We know better.
Yeah.
I forget who was online was like, this announcer's trying to squeeze in every reference that's ever been made.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, wait
we
a
get
minute.
it. You listen to hip hop. Like, fuck, dude.
Right down the road here,
You know?
there's a
Tomorrow
McDonald's.
Ronaldo's house. We're gonna go get him.
No. If you wanted to, the way that you came here, DJ, I think right
Yeah.
down the road here, there's a McDonald's, right?
Okay.
If you make the right like you're going toward the McDonald's, we can go to the Barnesville Thunderdome.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
Relive some memories.
I'm sure Okada's there as we
Yeah.
speak, reminiscing.
They asked him to drive him past before the show today.
Yeah. Okada saw Reading, PA on the itinerary and said, that doesn't work for me, brother. I'm not going back there.
But I knew this fight was fake from the beginning.
Oh, God. Yeah.
All Jake Paul's have been.
I had work this past week. I was assisting April at the shoe place, you know?
Ooh.
We went and did a truck job at like, I can't remember the name of the place, but I was talking to the guy who was the representative for the warehouse that we were at. And he was like, oh, the fight and everything tonight. I'm like, oh, who do you think is going to win? And like, I was surprised that one, so many people thought it was going to be real. Two, that Tyson was going to win. And this guy was like, man, Tyson's going to knock this guy's head off. He goes, when I look at Jake Paul, and I swear to God, he says this to me, not a setup, not anything else like this. This guy's not a wrestling fan. He goes, when I look at Jake Paul, you know what it makes me think of? CM Punk. And I go, what?
Oh, God fucking damn it.
And I literally almost fell out of my chair. Like, he did not. This is the first time I met this guy. He didn't know me. April didn't like, say this to Joe to fuck with him, right? I go, what do you mean by that? He goes, oh, when Punk did the UFC stuff and all those fights were all shitty and boring and fake and he lost and everything else like that. He goes, Jake Paul is CM Punk if he had money to pay for all of his fights to be fixed. And I go, so that being said, I go, you still think tonight's fight is going to be on the up and up? And you still think Mike Tyson's going to win? He goes, yeah. There were states that were not allowing action on that fight.
PA was one of them.
Was or was not?
Wasn't. Yeah, PA would not allow action.
I know Colorado wouldn't. A bunch of states. There was a whole litany of them that had that fight listed as no action is allowed to be taken because it's being looked at as a quote unquote exhibition.
Yeah. How
Fake.
that even got like sanctioned. I mean, granted, you're in Texas.
Money.
Who gives a fuck? But yeah, it's just it's insane. Yeah. I mean, I watched it and I was like, oh, Mike Tyson's 58 years old, fighting a 27-year-old.
And
How do you think this is gonna go?
And it was one of those things, like I mentioned to my kid, it was on way too late. We tried to stay up to watch it live, and we couldn't stay up to watch it live, so we watched it like the next morning without spoilers or anything else like that, legally, I assure you. But it was one of those things, once I saw that it was only 2-minute rounds instead of 3-minute rounds, and that it was only going to be 8 rounds, I think.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I didn't know going into it was going to be a fake fight, like the fact that it was 2-minute rounds and it was only 8 rounds, I'm like, oh, this is like double fake.
And the gloves were massive as well. Like they said, like it would be so hard to get knocked out using these gloves. That was.
It's also really hard to get knocked out when Mike Tyson is pulling his open punches away from Jake Paul's face.
They had to do the Roddy Piper Mr. T boxing gloves from WrestleMania 2, where the thumbs were attached.
Yeah, that was a mess.
And then UFC was the next night, and all the WWE people were at the UFC fight.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of CM Punk, Mickey Gall got knocked out.
Oh, did he really?
He fought on that
Mickey Gall's
show.
in, CM Punk's first fight.
CM Punk's first fight. He fought on that UFC card this week.
I didn't even know he was still fighting.
Yeah, apparently.
That's crazy. I watched the last 2 fights because John Jones is insane.
Yeah.
God, he's so fucking good.
Did he pop hot yet?
No.
Oh, that's good.
But Stipe Miocic is officially retired.
I saw.
Yeah. Who else was at UFC? Yeah, Triple H and Stephanie were there.
Good to see that happy couple
looking
together.
super married, wearing their wedding bands.
Oh boy.
And yeah, you know what? Watching that broadcast as well, I think I might be tapping out on UFC.
Ooh.
Because it's just they're doing tricks on it. I'll say that much for the president-elect.
Yeah?
It's fucking insane. It just like, after every fight, that's who they show. His entourage walked in, and I was just like, this is just, it's too much. You know, what happened to shut up and dribble? Where'd that go? Either way, all right, because I'll go on a soapbox here.
Hey, one other piece of news. Today, actually, Tony Storm retired.
Oh, that's right.
True.
So, you know, where were you, during Tony Storm's career? You know, it's a shame that we'll never get to see her again.
Buy those action figures now.
That's right. It's heartbreaking.
And again, it was crazy to see that came out. It was one of those things where, because of who tweeted it out, and what was it? It was SB Nation, whatever the hell that is.
Yeah.
And then as just seeing that, I'm like, oh, that's fake. And then I read the article. And listen, when you're a wrestling fan, it's easy just to say everything is fake ahead of time because the odds of you being right are very good.
Yep.
And then like Fightful picked it up as though it was real.
Joe, she said, chin down, tits in, and don't bother watching for the show. So you know it's legit. She's got a catchphrase.
She's done.
Yeah.
Hanging them up.
Yeah, so she says, quote, "I'm not used to being a loser. I failed at everything. I lost in AEW. I lost in Japan. I lost in Mexico. This is the last time you'll hear from me. Enjoy Mariah May as your champion. You all can enjoy that." She hasn't officially cleared that with Tony Khan yet. Then she says, AEW is fine without me. Everything is going well for AEW. They don't need Tony Storm, which is a lie. When I met Mariah, I'd been on the top of the world for many, many years. I delivered, then Mariah came onto the scene, and everything went tits up.
Damn right it did.
I'm just reading through the thing. Okay, without much to talk about, when it came to her future in wrestling, I did my best to try to learn. Okay, she confirms that her favorite way to eat eggs is poached, and that her valet Luther prepared them for her, doing a damn good job at that, while also adding to the fact that given the choice between owning a rhino-sized hamster and a hamster-sized rhino, she'd chosen the small rhino because, quote, I feel like I'd have a little bit of control that way. So yeah.
Real as can be.
Definitely getting to the bottom of these issues. Whoever interviewed them.
Right. Really asking the important questions. Yeah. So I assume they might pull some shenanigans tonight at the TV, because didn't they announce for the pay-per-view that it's just going to be a
championship celebration?
Yeah, it's championship celebration. Right. Yeah. So I assume Tony's going to crash that, put Mina on the spot to make her make a choice between her and Mariah. I wish, this is why wrestling media will never be taken seriously, because they play into shit like this. And I get it. You want to be part of the bit. You want to be part of the action. I don't know who... I failed on getting GalaxyCon passes, but I don't know. Is there time for us to get press passes for the pay-per-view this weekend? I don't know who I would even talk to get something like that.
I will tell you that I did, in fact, email AEW for press passes for the pay-per-view. And got zero response.
God damn it.
Do they want to know our ad rate?
No, I didn't even get a return on the email.
All right.
So
I have questions. Listen, we in this car are the collective wrestling media.
It's true.
We need to get in this post press conference.
I got real questions.
Absolutely.
I'll go up there and ask TK a real question.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's do it. TK, listen, I know TK, he didn't see my tweets to watch the Eagles-Jaguars game together a couple weeks ago. That's okay. I'll forgive that. Yeah. I understand. I wouldn't want to watch the Jacksonville Jaguars attempt to play football either.
Oh, my goodness.
Totally understood. Yeah. Do we have anything next?
Question I would ask him is, when are you running the Kingston Armory?
That's right.
Man, I would love that.
You know what I would ask him?
God, it'd be so
you know what I would ask him, Michael? What would you say to the recent comments that you purposely booked the Hammerstein Ballroom to screw over GCW?
Yeah.
Let's go.
And if I was Tony Khan, I would answer that with, have you seen what all I've done with other companies?
He'd say, Effie who? And then move on.
Or else, yeah, John Moxley said, fuck that guy. Because John Moxley's running the show, apparently.
That's right.
I saw another interview he gave today where he was like, fuck the first 5 years of what we've done. Like, who cares? He's like, we're going to do this the right way.
What was the pull quote about Dan, how he killed the American Dragon?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, hang on. Let me see if I can find that. Go to something else while I look that up.
DJ, what do you got?
Quick, go to commercial.
We're currently going to make a right onto Clamtown Road
We are.
soon.
Yo, baby.
Gonna take a ride on the Clamtown Road. That's that song, right?
During the champagne celebration at the pay-per-view, Adam's going to have to be restrained to his seat.
Yeah, I mean, can we just talk about the fact that after months and months of Collision being unwatchable, they gave us 2 Match of the Year candidates on one show this week?
Yeah.
Mariah May versus Anna Jay and Harley Cameron versus Mina Shirakawa. I mean, what more do you want?
That's the real A show right there.
Yeah.
It's the F show, I'm pretty sure.
All right. So here's the quote from Moxley. Bryan Danielson was one of my best friends. It was a beautiful funeral. His mom was in the front row as I squeezed his neck as his mom screamed that she loved him and he screamed back. I felt the spirit of the American Dragon leave his body and I feel that he could rest now. I feel his mother is at peace.
That's my fucking champion right there.
Oh my goodness. And he had a tape promo on Collision too, man. Collision is the A show now.
They finally are starting to interweave both shows.
Listen, all I'm going to
That's all I've
say
been asking.
is that I went on a rant about it on the show a bunch of weeks ago, and then a week or two later, they started intertwining everything. So you're all welcome.
I was going to say thank you,
Yeah.
DJ.
Yeah. That's right.
Clap, clap, clap.
It's about time I got some credit around here.
Well, you know what? Since we've been talking so much about it,
Yes.
do all you guys know that there's a pay-per-view this weekend?
What?
What?
It's Sammy saying kicking down. It's Kofi Kingston doing his thing. Ruby Soho. Be on the show. Bryan Danielson. No. Is it the big dog's yard?
I'm singing it, by the way.
That's right, Joe, Brett, and DJ. According to Wikipedia,
Oh, we get to gang it up.
Ooh,
All
the
right.
most trusted source in all wrestling news and information. All Elite Wrestling is holding Full Gear this Saturday. Maybe you guys heard of this. Maybe you might be going. And Wikipedia says there are 9 announced matches, one of which is on the pre-show.
What one could that be, Joe?
So,
Yeah.
so how about I say? So since there's 9 matches, we'll take 3 each. How about that?
We'll try it.
This doesn't count for my pick, but the most important thing about this pay-per-view: no Chris Jericho match.
Yeah, it's,
Amazing.
yeah, it's-
That's the most important thing. They've already announced they're doing the contract
Yeah.
signing tonight at the TV, so we have a bathroom break.
But it's Ishii.
Listen,
but they might do like conglomeration against Learning Tree on the pre-show and just throw it on there.
don't you mean the constipation?
Oh, Marky, come on now.
All right. So I'll start. I'll go with the easiest match, the main event. For the AEW World Title, Jon Moxley is defending the title against hometown hero for tonight at least. Maybe Saturday as well. Orange Cassidy.
That is correct.
All right. For the tag titles, I know it's a 4-way fuckabout. We have Private Party, their official name, Kings of the Black Throne, the Acclaimed, and the Meat Spinners themselves, the Outrunners.
That is correct. DJ, you got one?
Oh, God. QT Marshall versus the Costco dad with Big Justice in his corner on the pre-show. I don't know if it's for anything. I know it's not for me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there you go.
Someone took the time and the imagination to make a sign that says "Bag Big Justice." Big Justice is a 10-year-old little boy, you 6 sons of bitches! That's the promo I want from AJ.
So I've kind of worked myself into a shoot here
Yes.
of not giving a fuck about this, but now I'm convinced that Big AJ's gonna bleed everywhere.
No, so there's not. Okay,
I need it, Joe.
we're gonna get to our predictions after we go through the entire card.
Okay.
I am going with Swerve Strickland taking on the almighty Bob Lashley.
Joe's going with all the top of the card stuff. He's
Yeah, baby.
cheating here. But that is
All
correct.
right. For the TBS championship, the champion Mercedes Moné.
We're all doing the dance, by the way.
Put your hand back on the wheel, DJ.
Going up against Chris Statlander.
That is correct.
For the TNT title, Daniel Garcia versus not Jungle Boy Jack Perry if they ever unstrapped him from the hood of that bus.
That is correct.
Correct.
All right, so now we got 3 matches left, and it's going to be. I really got to rack my. MJF taking on Roddy Strong.
That is correct.
Damn.
But we will hear from Adam Cole tonight, so maybe that'll change.
Yes.
So, as long as we don't fucking hear from MJF tonight, that's all I care. I don't want MJF there tonight. Please don't ruin the show.
I don't. Did they make an international title match official?
They did not.
Fuck. Okay. What other titles are there?
Like 40.
Damn.
You could pass if you don't know.
I can't believe that the last 2 remaining have some Brett specials.
Oh, fucking Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher.
All right.
Yeah, that's. I'm sorry, Kyle Fletcher.
And I will say, I watched the November Rain video. I don't know if anybody's going to talk about that. The part that actually popped me is how they timed Ospreay Fletcher to the part where it's like, even friends betray you.
That's so good, man. Oh, I love that.
All right, DJ, last match.
Does Hechicero appearing count? Isn't that on the list?
No, that's on
No.
TV
That's tonight.
tonight.
Oh, that's TV tonight?
Yeah.
Again, this is another We Need Wrestling special here.
Oh, no. I don't even know what that means. Taguchi's on the show? I honestly, I don't know.
Joe, any guess?
I can't think of it right now.
Switchblade versus Hangman.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Poor Switchblade. We forgot them.
Yeah.
All right, so predictions, Brett. You said that you want the Costco dad to do double juice with QT Marshall.
Buckets.
Okay.
I want buckets.
It's going to be a lame-ass plunder match
Yeah.
with how when we went the fucking Harley Cameron Thunder Rosa match
yeah.
where they were hitting each other with styrofoam skulls and shit.
Yep.
They're going to be hitting each other with styrofoam double chunk chocolate
Yeah,
cookies.
there's gonna be chicken bake everywhere. I hate that I know what that is.
Right. And it's going to be a walk and brawl, lots of stalling, and the Costco dad might do a house show dive. That's the match. That's it. What more do you want? Do you want them to go out there and recreate Will Ospreay versus Ricochet?
Yes. Yes.
That would be very funny.
The Thorazine kid, QT
So
Marshall.
I imagine they're sitting backstage, and the Costco dad, they're talking over the match, and he's doing his tape, and he takes his cold, dead, lifeless eyes, and he looks up at QT Marshall, and he says, "You know what? I think I'm gonna take the diamond cutter."
Oh, god damn you.
Like he's Macho Man.
He's
Yeah.
Macho Man it all the way to heaven.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any other bold predictions? Any title changes? Any debuts? Any?
The Rizzler's going to turn on Big Justice and officially join QT's Cuties.
Ooh.
Is it because Big Justice said the Rizzler's shoot name?
You did. And did you see the Rizzler's reaction?
Oh yeah.
That was real heat, brother.
Oh, I'm so glad I don't know anything about any of this.
You didn't listen to the very end of Long Box Heroes this week.
I've
huh?
been
did not.
forced into this. I think Mox retains.
Yeah,
Yep.
sadly.
See, we've been talking about that for a while, that it's way too early in the Death Rider storyline for Moxley to be dethroned. But I was thinking about this earlier in the week, and it's not like AEW doesn't make the occasional head-scratching decision. So it's what if we will be there when Orange Cassidy becomes champion of the world?
Well, then
if?
there'll be 4 grown men crying when that happens. The one that, honestly, I'm kind of puzzled with is the tag title match.
I think if there's going to be a big surprise, it's going to be the Outrunners winning those straps. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think if Private Party doesn't retain, it's the Outrunners winning.
See, it's hard because, okay, if Private Party retains, well, then there's 3 teams taken off the table already.
That's true. Well,
I don't know if the Acclaimed, I don't think a turn happens, but maybe one of them does something where the other eats the pin. But then I'm
Maybe
like,
Max Caster can rap about internment camps or something next.
oh yeah, he's fucking awesome. That guy.
I would love to see the Outrunners win.
Yeah.
And I can't make a full decision on that until I see where the placement of the. If that's the opener, they're winning.
Yeah.
If it's not the opener, then Private Party retains.
Okay.
I know they're so heavy-handed with it on TV, but I think it's Bowens that's going with the Hurt Syndicate, not Max Caster.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Because I think Max Caster's just a red herring with all this.
Okay.
Because
I
Max
like that.
Caster is not as good as Bowens, and I think Bowens, as part of that group, is going to have more of a chance to shine as himself, as opposed to being, unfortunately, held down and dragged down by his allegiance with Max Caster. And at the very least, it'll lead to a match on TV of some combination of Bowens and either Bob Lashley or Shelton taking on Max Caster and Billy Gunn.
Oh,
There's where I'm going toward, just so I can get Billy Gunn in the mix against either Shelton or Bob Lashley.
moving some meat.
I think Bowens would look better in a suit also.
Yes.
Especially the kind of suits that Bobby Lashley's been fucking showing up in.
It's a fashionable man.
He's a super fashionable man.
He's fashionably violent.
Did you guys watch from a week or two ago the interview that they did on the YouTube with Miss Renee?
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was really good, and I thought it was funny. And, just the way that social media works, the tweet didn't get much traction, unfortunately. In the interview, they said that everyone has to look good in the Hurt Syndicate. Nobody gets to wear jeans. Mm-hmm. And Shelton jokes around and says that he found that out the hard way. And then that next Dynamite, when Miss Renee interviewed them, she was wearing like a jean romper. And I'm like, oh, she's shooting on them.
She's trying to fuck on me.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, go to the business for herself. I love it.
Anytime she wants.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? I also said the pay-per-view that we're probably going to get. I know they said that, the Continental Classic starts Dynamite next week.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get maybe a big shocking announcement of someone other than Okada that's going to be in the Continental Classic. We're going to find that person out at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, Speedball Mike Bailey.
No,
Not until January.
Yeah, that has been
Is that
revealed.
officially debunked.
Yeah.
And his ceiling is Ring of Honor, not the real
Agreed.
roster.
Adam, do you have any bold predictions?
Danny Garcia wins TNT title.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty
Okay.
good. I think that'd be a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, the Elite's pretty much done as it was, so there's no point in having Jungle Boy retain.
Yeah.
And I say you take Jack Perry off TV for a little bit.
Yep.
Because he hasn't been doing a ton anyway. Yeah. And I think without Jack Perry stinks. I'm sorry.
He's not good.
Nope.
Yeah, I think
I'll say that as a man who had a poster of his dad on my wall growing up. I don't like him. But I had a Lou Perry. But Lou Perry was on my walls growing up because he was on the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie poster.
I was going to say a 90210 poster on your wall.
yeah.
Him and Christy Swanson. It was a white background.
Yep.
She was in that neon green crop top and pink spandex number.
Then an iconic movie poster, I'd say.
It
Sure.
was on the back of my door for most of my teenage years.
I had a Pauly Shore poster on the back of my door.
I just watched Jury Duty the other day. Holds up.
No, it doesn't.
Holds
It
up
doesn't.
what?
It doesn't. Biodome and Son-in-Law still hold up. Jury Duty did not.
I think Mercedes retains.
I agree.
They're gonna do a fake out turn with Camille.
Yeah.
Where it's Camille and Mercedes have been in on it all along. That Camille has been a bumbling fuck to try to get Chris to have a false sense of security with everything. We talked about Tony Storm is going to make the run in at the championship celebration.
I think Fletcher goes over Ospreay.
I think Fletcher goes over Ospreay.
Smart move. Do you think they'll add a Takeshi to match because of the title?
You would think it's Takeshi to Ricochet.
Yeah.
It feels as though we'll probably get that announced tonight at TV, and then 3 more matches for the pre-show
Right.
between now and
Yeah.
fucking Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I honestly think Adam Cole somehow gets added into that Roddy MJF because it's what's the alternative? Then the next pay-per-view, then we're going to have
you're
MJF versus
right.
Adam Cole.
No, I think I mentioned it last week on the show. We get some sort of thing with Kyle and Adam Cole involved in the finish. MJF goes over, and it gets those 3 doing a thing. MJF kind of like that writes MJF off that storyline and gets him onto something else off TV. Hey, you should go make another movie, MJF. You're a big movie star with your luscious hair and your beautiful looks and your great acting ability. I think you should be a Hollywood superstar today. Well, you're really wasting his time in wrestling is really what I think.
Wasting somebody's time.
He's wasting my time. But it's just, I think it's going to be a way to kind of get those guys back into a thing together. You could do like Roddy and like the Kingdom against like conglomeration people, and then Adam Cole's in the middle. Like, oh, where does Adam Cole go? Just to kind of give like a little bit of juice to like an upper mid card angle there. The more that we're reminded that the MJF Adam Cole Devil storyline was a thing, the worse we're all off for it.
Yeah, I mean, look what a year ago that was just dominating AEW television.
Yes.
Ugh.
I need the stocks to go up on that. I have the Devil Chase AEW figure that I found. I need the stocks to go up so the price goes up a little bit more.
All right. So how do you want to do this? Do you want to? Does anybody have anything else to say right now? Are we gonna like do a little post-show recording?
I'll just say we're skipping probably one of the most important parts of the show right now. So,
My way.
Oh, son of a bitch!
The Alexis King moment of the week.
so I
I
don't
just
know,
almost
Brett,
threw this microphone out of the windshield.
Brett, do you want to take this?
That's my
or-
microphone and my windshield.
I don't care.
Brett, do you want to take this, or does anybody else want to do this? You know,
Take it where?
I mean, just cover the Lexus King moment of the week. I
Wasn't
mean,
he like a talk? Like he didn't
He's-
have a match. Wasn't he just a talking head, like in a backstage segment or something?
So he was backstage, he was just talking, and it was clear that he was talking to somebody, but they were off camera, and he was basically describing about how, you know, he's trying to be the better man. I don't know if you know this, Brett and DJ, but he's,
Compared to what?
well, you know, compared to his dastardly father that he doesn't want to be associated with.
You know,
And-
that's the storyline that with him that we all hate Brian Pillman.
Yep.
And we've always hated Brian Pillman.
Yeah, very weird.
And he's bad.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's-
wrestling fans
Yeah.
notorious hate
Yeah,
Brian
they're really-
Pillman.
They're really gambling on everybody being on Kevin Sullivan's side. In this.
Good Lord.
So he's basically saying to this person off camera that, you know, it's going to take a while and he's going to have to win people over one at a time.
How much longer does he need?
He's going to come to every NXT fan's house and knock on their door and say, hey, I'm sorry, I suck. Okay. We don't want any.
So then he says to the person that's off camera, he's like, you know what? I really want to thank you. You know, you're so easy to talk to. You and I could talk for hours.
Do they reveal who the person is?
The camera pans out.
Oh, please let it be the Rock's shitty daughter.
It's got to be.
It's NXT superstar Yoshiki Inamaru.
Oh, no!
No.
Oh, what the fuck?
So Yoshiki gives him a thumbs up and says, I understand. And then Lexus King walks away. And then the camera pans over and like some other NXT dude who I don't know is there. Like he kind of like walks over and Yoshiki's like, NXT is so exciting. And that's the end of the segment. And this has been your Lexus King moment of the week.
The Alexis King moment of the week.
Fucking Inamura. I can't believe it.
Oh, it hurts my heart.
We didn't get a chance to talk about all the cool Easter eggs that are hidden in plain sight in WWE storytelling. Like how Paul Heyman's phone number is disconnected. And when Sami Zayn saw Solo Sikoa's video, he threw a phone on the couch.
Did Heyman's mom not pay the bill, or
I think Heyman's roommate,
yes.
who sounds his roommate Dave, who sounds just like him, didn't pay the phone bill. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, God bless WWE for like trying to like add a little nuance, but the fact that, you know, we talked before about like wrestling media where like people like Alvarez are like, oh, there's all these crazy Easter eggs on SmackDown this week. It's like, no, Easter eggs are things that you have to look for, that not things that happen blatantly in front of the camera that like are very obvious. Like, that's not what an Easter egg is. An Easter egg is like when the curtains in the courtroom on the season finale of The Penguin look like owls.
Ooh.
Get it? Court of Owls?
Get it?
Like, that's an Easter egg.
Get it?
Yeah, see? That's an Easter egg. You weren't supposed to notice that, but, you know.
An Easter egg is when the WWE changes the faces on their production trucks.
Oh, that's right. Remember that? Oh. I did watch a little bit of Raw this week with my nephews, and man, that's a rough show.
Was the Gunther segment as bad as everyone claimed it was?
So I didn't see that part.
Okay.
I saw like the beginning of the show and kind of the end of the show. I saw Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed.
Okay. And did Solo Sikoa come out and help him?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Bronson's on
He's
their
like,
team.
like he's a new bloodline.
Yeah, for War Games. Yeah.
New bloodline.
FUNB.
The NB stands for new bloodline. You figure out the rest. It's still my dream figure. Oh my god! I'm just gonna start wearing a black cutoff shirt that says FUNB to shows anymore.
You can just borrow Doug's because he wears it all the time.
No, his is in the form of a chachi.
So
It is.
I watched the I didn't watch Raw, but I watched the YouTube version of the segment with Gunther, and I'm like, I get why people are upset because Gunther has been portrayed so strong on TV. But if his next program is against Damian Priest, who arguably has not been portrayed strong, they need to do something to make us think that Damian Priest has a snowball's chance in hell.
Didn't he lay Gunther out?
Yeah. And, it was a thing where, Gunther tried to lay a trap for him and Damian Priest outsmarted him and got laid out.
What did he do? Put a book called How to Pro Wrestle under a box with a stick?
Damian Priest is a perfectly acceptable world wrestling entertainer.
Sure, absolutely.
But again, I get what they're trying to do, but if you're really super invested in Gunther, I could see you being upset that they're making him look foolish, but he's going to beat Damian Priest. There's no chance Damian Priest is beating him for the fake world title.
No, that's never going to happen.
Yeah. He's got to hold it for the Goldberg match.
Oh,
That's Saudi Mania.
Oh,
Night 1.
that hurts my soul.
And then Phil wins at night 2.
Stop it, you.
And then the president hands Phil the belt.
Giant mark photo of the Crown Prince,
Phil's
Homelander, and Phil all
Phil-
standing there together, smiling.
The president is holding Larry. Well, this all happens.
I will hand in every fandom card I've ever had. And so you know what? I think
Who does Ace Steel bite in that scenario?
JD Vance.
JD Vance, yeah, totally JD Vance.
JD Vance.
GD Vance
Ace
Black
Steel, they're eating
Noir.
the dogs, they're eating the cats. Ace Steel can't handle it.
Good Lord.
Oh no.
We're not that show. Sorry, everybody. I don't know. That's all I got, man. We're on our way to, we're recording a day early. We usually talk a lot about AEW, but AEW hasn't happened yet, right?
Yeah, and we'll pick up on the way home.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I have another rain to drink on the way home, so I'll be
man.
I think we have
jacked
another
up.
question, too, so.
Yeah, the question will be for the way home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
All right, well, you know what? Before, just in case we forget on the way home, because we're so pumped for
Yes.
Adam Cole getting added to the pay-per-view.
No.
Best part of the show?
you just wanted to play another song.
Some might cost.
Yeah, I won't even play it. It's your show, too. So, did you guys buy anything?
Did I buy? I bought Christmas presents. One that I cannot say in this car right now.
Oh, Brett, you didn't have to, man. That's nice.
Yes, Adam. I bought you Stacy Keibler.
Oh, thank God.
Ding ding.
Who else is that with their phone
That's
still
me,
on?
sorry. It's new phone. I don't know how to shut the sound off.
Oh, you got a new phone?
I did. I got an iPhone 16 today.
Hey, look at
there's
that
a
shit,
weekly
you
purchase.
fancy boy.
Yeah.
That's a weekly purchase,
It
right?
cost me nothing.
Oh.
Nice. You still on Verizon?
Yes, sir.
Good shit.
Yes.
I'm actually going to go upgrade mine before I go on my cruise.
Sick.
When are you going on the cruise again?
Next Friday.
Cool. So
Yes.
you're going to be gone for Thanksgiving?
No, so we're Thanksgiving.
He's leaving Black Friday.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Yeah, we're leaving. Black
Oh, okay.
Friday.
The day after. Gotcha.
Yeah, my sister booked it. She's like, it should be a light travel day. I said, I hope.
Where's the ship going out of?
Miami.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're flying Philly to Miami, staying in Miami Friday night, and then Saturday morning.
Airbnb or whatever?
Hotel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Saturday morning we set sail, and I'm
Cool.
gone for a week. I did get I bought my internet package this week. There's a weekly purchase, so I can keep up with what's going on in the world of professional
Yes.
Are you
wrestling.
going to be podcasting from the boat?
I may send in memo or a FaceTime. I might FaceTime somebody. I don't know.
I got some stuff in the works for that week. It's going to be me and some special guests, maybe.
Oh, look at you little man.
Todd.
Oh, Todd Kesher.
Todd and Michelle.
Oh, baby.
But I actually had a weekly purchase myself. So the Toy Boys, Hawkins and Borowski over on Major Wrestling figure, they do their toy drive every year.
Oh,
and
nice.
I always send stuff in. You know, they have the link. I think you could still do it for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If you do it through Ringside and you set the shipping address up as their P.O. box, it's free shipping. Use the code MAJOR for 10%. Not that they need us to plug them or any of that sort of shit. But there's a bunch of cheapo figures on there. Like there's a Statlander figure on there that's like $3.50. Wow. There's a Sheeta figure that's on there for like $6. So I did those two, and then there's a cheapo MJF and Chris Jericho. I figured they give the girl figures to somebody who was good, and the MJF and Jericho figures to somebody who was bad. So yeah, I always contribute every year. That's my charity for the year. That's my good deed for the year. You know, 'cause I'm a
Very
piece
nice.
of shit every other day of the year. So that was my weekly purchases. I'm in a spending freeze for myself.
Brett and DJ, did you get anything else?
I did. I also bought something I can't mention.
Okay.
Fucking damn it.
Oh man,
And
I feel so bad.
my Eddie Guerrero Ultimate from Walmart. I bought it last week and it shipped and came yesterday.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, or maybe it was Monday. But I have. So I have
I
that
only
Eddie
had to wait
Guerrero.
7 months for mine.
Yeah. So I have the Eddie Guerrero Ultimate, which is awesome. It is a very nice figure.
Says, I can't believe that I found the McFoley that kind of came out with that
It was
in the
the same
wild
way.
like months
Yeah,
ago.
that was a long fucking time ago.
Yeah, and I never found the Eddie, but I don't need the Eddie. I don't think it's an awesome figure, but I got to make rules.
Oh, understood.
That's with that. Like I need that Eddie. I don't have another Eddie. That's prime Eddie to me.
Yeah.
But I'm skipping the Mick because I think the Defining Moments is better with the tooth and the nose and the thumbtacks
Yeah.
on the back. I just think that's a little bit better figure. So I'm not so worried about the Mick.
I just feel like I don't mind having multiple McFoleys,
Yeah.
you know?
I'm gonna wait for that Black Friday sale to see how low
Yep.
they put the Three Faces of Foley.
Yeah.
It depends on how low that goes. That might be my break of my spending freeze on myself.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. I'm thinking under 50 or maybe under 45, and I'm snagging it.
Yeah, I was
So-
looking at the Ringside like pre-Thanksgiving sale, and nothing that was on my wish list was discounted. It was all stuff that I wasn't in the market for.
Yeah.
But I was starting to get some anxiety over my wish list kind of blowing up and me not buying anything from it. So I did place a Ringside order this week.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was kind of waiting for all of these Ringside exclusives to be in stock simultaneously so that my money would not be held up. So I ordered, all shipping immediately, Ringside exclusive Takeshita,
Fuck yeah.
Ringside Switchblade,
Nice.
Timeless Tony Storm,
Dude, that Tony Storm figure is
Yeah,
like
amazing.
Great looking figure.
and I don't have the soundboard here, but Joe will hum the song. Double J, Jeff Jarrett.
Brett's already doing it. Yeah. All
So
right.
those were all the all Ringside
Hell
exclusives
yeah.
that I've been because obviously Jarrett came out a while ago, and the other three all came out like separately, but over the last week or two.
Yeah.
So I was just like, as soon as they all come out, I'll grab them. And I don't see them getting like deeply discounted this holiday season because they're all brand new figures. You know,
Yeah,
maybe they go down
yeah.
$1 or $2.
Yeah, I
but
think it was Mike in the Discord said like, "Oh, should I like buy the Tony Storm now?" And I go, "I don't know if it's going to go on sale or not.
Yeah.
I have no idea."
So I ordered those, and really the only other Ringside exclusive that was announced that I still need, it still hasn't gone up for pre-order, and it's that sketch like Doodle Edition Orange
I was
Cassidy.
going to ask. I'm guessing that's not
Not even
Yeah.
up for pre-order yet. So I'll do the same thing. I'll wait until that's like in stock before I go ahead and buy it. But that's
Oh,
it for me.
Yeah, a lot of just Christmas presents for the nephews, filling out what they want, trying to like coordinate with my brother-in-law and my sister to be like, "Oh, here's this," so they can open it on Christmas morning, and then I'll come over later and give them this and stuff. Because my one nephew Dom is obsessed with Dominic Mysterio.
That's very funny.
So I got him the ultimate Dominic Mysterio, and now I have to get the other one, Luca, the ultimate Rey Mysterio for that match. It's everywhere. So I'm just happy that my nephews now like wrestling. It makes my life better.
There you go.
All right. Well, I guess we'll be back later. Here's
And with like post Dynamite,
Yeah.
like
a little recap.
reaction. That's the word.
Sure. All right.
All right.
Anybody?
Oh,
Good?
see you in a bit.
All right. Bye.
If you missed this year's November to Remember, it's a regret you'll never forget.
All right, y'all, we are back. It's officially post Dynamite, post next 2 weeks of Rampage.
We made it. We survived.
We're officially here. We're on the way home on some country ass back road right now.
Got kicked out of the building.
Yeah, literally.
That's right. We closed that shit down.
Yeah, we stayed for the whole thing, which I'm like shocked that happened. But it was like, hey, they're giving us good stuff.
Yeah,
and it was fun. So what'd you guys think of Dynamite?
Well, again, obviously, I don't know if you want to go linearly. What's the?
I know what you mean. I don't think I can say it either.
Yes. I think as a broadcaster, I would know how to speak. Did you want to hit like spots and favorite things? Because like we could just start right off the top talking about the Costco dad.
Yeah. Can I just say that if I fucking see this Costco dude or a stupid kid or a stupid kid's friend one more time, I honestly, you might get your wish. I might just stop watching wrestling. This is it.
This is what's going to get Adam to stop.
I was booing him, and then people thought I was saying boom.
No, you were booming him.
No.
I saw you were doing the arm motion and everything.
No, I just wanted it to end.
They're saying boo earns.
Even when Adam Cole came out, and they did the boom, you were like, instead of doing the Adam Cole boom with your hands up in the air, you did the Adam Cole boom. Like how AJ, Costco dad, does.
The muscle flex.
Why does he have his own little moves? And I hate it all. Like
he was it's weird that they say he hasn't wrestled in 20 years.
Yeah.
When he's like wrestled maybe 2 years ago, he had a very highly publicized retirement match where he teamed up with the BWO.
Oh really?
Yes, and I think it's on Jerry's Internet Wrestling.
Holy
Emporium.
shit!
Right, hold on, Joe. Are your mic's turned on? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because you're not registering.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Hang on.
My headphones are not.
Joe, are you in?
It says on.
Yeah.
Plugs in.
Yeah.
I don't know. You want me to talk louder?
Is the volume on his port?
Hello, everyone. What's going on?
I have no idea.
Adam's holding his mic to me as well, so that might be double picking it up.
What have to do?
We're going to do a scary thing. I'm going to stop in the middle of a country road.
What, to turn this up?
And I'm going to look. Yep, you got turned down. You're in the 4 spot, right?
Sure. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, he's booming now.
There it is. Yep, you got turned down in the hullabaloo.
Oh, in the bag.
All right, you're good now.
That was fucking sick. We're dedicated to this.
You'll be a little quiet for the first.
Joe, repeat everything you just said. Start from the top.
We got it.
We bring the boom.
Oh, Jesus
That's
Christ.
what we do.
oh fuck.
Adam, this is going to be our unifying thing. I fucking
This is
hate
the
it.
thing that unifies
Yeah.
DJ and Adam.
I hate it,
This
dude.
is it.
It's I get it, this is not for us. We're not the TikTok audience that they're trying to pull in. But why are you punishing your loyal audience? We are their target demographic. Stop trying to broaden your audience with the worst possible thing.
I had a bit of an understanding of it when I heard the crowd reaction and all the kids.
Yeah.
They
out.
went ape shit, dude.
So I was like, all right, I get it. And then when they announced the goddamn Rizzler.
Oh,
That's the
brother.
special guest timekeeper.
Yeah,
right.
I guess it trended on everything that the Rizzler was going to be on AEW.
Yes.
So it's going to bring an
Dude,
audience.
he's gonna fucking low blow Big Justice. It's gonna happen.
100%.
I thought AEW was for the sickos. This is not fair.
It's a different brand of
I'm
sickos.
gatekeeping like crazy here.
Listen, you eat a chicken bake every fucking day. You're going to be a sicko. The double chunk chocolate cookie.
He has
Oh
the
my
double chunk
God.
chocolate cookies on his gear. Did you see that?
Yeah, I know. I
shit.
noticed. Yeah.
All right.
It's to hide the shit.
I've never rooted for QT Marshall so much of my life.
Good point. I won't.
Oh, we talked about it. So when this was just an idea, and I had DJ make me the graphic to do AJ versus MJF for the American title at Grand Slam, that was the ceiling. That's where I wanted it to happen, right?
Right.
I'm leaning into it a little bit for the bit,
You willed this into existence.
But you don't like bits, Joe.
I don't like bits, but
Bit free since 03.
if it gets people to watch AEW and whatever,
It was a monster reaction tonight.
yeah. I think like reactions in order were just the mentioning of the Rizzler
Yep.
was number 1, Will Ospreay was number 2, and then I think Swerve was number 3, maybe.
Like, no bullshit, that is fucking true. That's
Yeah.
exactly how it went. The Rizzler got the biggest pop.
And I think it was because it was the first thing. They got them
Yep.
out there in front of the crowd as the first thing live, because like there were a lot of kids there.
Yeah. And by the way, this was taped for Rampage.
Yes, this was taped for Friday's Rampage,
Yeah.
wherever that's going to fit in.
They did a weigh-in.
Right. It was weird that they did a weigh-in and then they did a backstage where they essentially just announced the same thing because
Yeah.
Big Justice fucked up his line.
Sure did.
He couldn't remember the name of the
Being
pay-per-view.
a goddamn pro.
Right?
Rizzler don't fucking forget nothing, man.
No.
He's the Panther in black. He does the Riz face. He's going to steal your girl. He does all the things. I have a 13-year-old son, okay? That's why I know all this shit, okay?
I could hear Adam dying inside right now.
I wish this car had a gas leak right now, just into the cabin.
Yeah.
But hopefully after this weekend, it's done. Right?
Yeah, I think it's a one and done thing, right? I mean,
I know he was teasing.
it makes money though. It's wrestling, so
Well,
How long are they going to make money, though?
right. So again, striking while the iron is hot. This was like, so I equate AJ the Costco dad to Kevin Federline. Remember when Kevin Federline
sure do.
was in Monday Night Raw and he wrestled John Cena?
And he beat John Cena?
And he beat John Cena when he teamed up with John Morrison.
Yep.
Okay.
what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Oh, yeah.
This was a thing that happened,
Yeah,
DJ.
it was
K-Fed.
I think it was on the 2007 New Year's Day Raw.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And it was hot because he was in the news.
Yeah,
It was Britney's baby daddy.
Yeah, for divorcing Britney Spears.
Was
Yeah.
this before or after she shaved her head and attacked a car with an
I
umbrella?
think this is before.
Before.
All right. Okay.
But this was that. Like it just was. It was like 2 weeks of TV.
Yeah.
Literally, that was it. And there was so many. And this is where we run into the problem. Is like 6 of one, half a dozen the other. We knew this match was happening for weeks. And online, people are like, "Oh, this is such a big deal match. How come they're not advertising it on TV?" Right? And then on Collision this past week, they showed the graphic that AJ was going to be at Dynamite. And then they did the thing for Rampage, which will be on Friday. And then they did 2 segments with them backstage for Dynamite this week.
Yep.
And then everyone's like, "Oh, why are they wasting time on TV with these people?" It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, everyone was bitching to, get them on TV.
Right.
And they get them on TV and everybody bitches.
Yeah.
It's almost as though
Fickle.
everyone just bitches about everything.
Fickle. Goddamn fickle. Yeah. The
I try to be
fucking
positive,
Rizzler.
right?
Oh, baby, the Rizzler.
You're just a nice guy.
Yeah, I like everyone and everything.
I need a backstage, sit-down interview with Christian and the Rizzler. Give
You
it
mean
to
Christian
me.
and Christian?
Oh, yes, sorry, yes. Christian Cage and the Rizzler.
I need Double J to El Kabong Rizzler.
Bag Big Justice.
That's right.
No,
Oh,
again,
man.
so the match is going to be what it is.
Yeah.
We saw AJ get laid out. QT gives him the diamond cutter,
Yep.
the move that was handed down to him personally by
don't.
Diamond
Please
Dallas
don't.
Page.
Yeah.
Did you watch QT on AEW a couple weeks ago when he was on? 2 weeks ago?
No.
Oh, okay.
Must have missed that one.
All right.
I got a long
I was too
list.
busy pulling my eyeballs out of my head.
I'm a regular. RJ City follows me on Blue Sky.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that son of a
Oh.
bitch. RJ City, lover of wings.
Right?
Yeah.
I need to start.
Must be
skiing
because
more.
you're a tastemaker.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm
As assigned by Ed.
I'm assistant to the tastemaker, young Ed.
Wrestling tastemaker.
Yeah, Ed excluded me out of that, and once again, I just kind of feel like I thought Ed was going to be nice on Blue Sky. I guess I was wrong.
No.
Ed tried to bully somebody the other day on Blue
Rob
Sky.
Schamberg.
Yes,
Yeah.
that made me giggle.
He didn't try to bully him. He was just like, hey, remember 3 years ago when you said that it was people trying to purposely be mad about Vince McMahon and they're all wrong? And they're doing it because they have butthurt feelings over the Montreal screw job? And that was a tweet that he really put out into the world, saying that's why everyone doesn't like Vince.
That's fucking awful.
Yep.
What do you expect from a tracer?
That's true.
Fucking Tracer.
Yeah.
Trace a line around your fucking corpse.
Let's go.
Your mother was a tracer.
All right, back to Dynamite.
Yeah, sorry.
So the internet told me that Dynamite was bad tonight.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Like,
They said that
why?
after the Claudio Darby match, everything was weird and odd. And I will say, as a go-home show live, I enjoyed it. There was a lot of things where, like, the baby faces were up in a bunch of segments. And then, of course, the end of the night is, the BCC laying out OC.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I get it. It's to hopefully subvert your expectations of, like, oh, the baby faces are up and all these things. So when they go down on the pay-per-view, but then, like, oh, OC's down, so maybe he'll go up on the pay-per-view. I still think OC's going down to the pay-per-view.
I do too.
I had a thought while we were watching this tonight
Yeah.
that what if OC did win and the story becomes like he's a champion, but he can't do anything because every turn Mox and his crew are there to destroy him.
So the last, like, week or two, Moxley's promos have been accusing OC of being what Moxley is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So what my thought process was, I don't think OC's winning.
Yeah.
But what if
I
he
don't
does
either.
win
Mhm.
and just like the title corrupts OC and we get like almost an OC heel turn?
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
that
like
could
some
work. I like that too.
Shakara stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's not like the title's cursed or some shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like Mantis put a spell on it or some bullshit, you know?
I will say, one of the things tonight that like sucked the fucking air out of the building was the Adam Cole Kyle O'Reilly like promo.
I
And
liked
all
it.
of the follow-up
Did you
stuff.
really?
I liked it.
Oh, I fucking
Yeah, I've
hated it.
No interest in that program whatsoever.
So it got 3 segments on the show. It got the Adam and Kyle thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It got the Roddy promo, which was after the MJF thing, and like the MJF video, which again, I thought that. So first of all, I thought the MJF video was great. I thought it was shot beautifully. I thought his acting, his line delivery, everything. Like, this is a guy tailor-made for Hollywood. He really needs to leave wrestling now and go be in movies, TV, something, right? Just please, wrestling is like, we don't deserve MJF.
Yeah, you're above it now.
Right, he's above it now. He's proving it time and time again with these vignettes every week on TV. So the vignette comes up, and like it gets like kind of a babyface reaction, and then
Yeah.
the Roddy promo was after that. And I get the reason why that it has to be because MJF comes out, and it's not the first time that they've brought up on TV that like Roddy had a fucked up childhood,
Yeah.
and his mom shot his dad,
Yeah.
and like then MJF brings it up, and then Roddy gets like a mixed reaction of saying like, yeah, you know, like my life is fucked up, but I persevered and I fought and I was strong because my last name is Strong. He didn't say that part, but he should have.
You absolutely should.
But it was just like, when I beat you at the pay-per-view, MJF, I'll finally be able to rest because I earned it and I worked hard for it. I'm not a bitch like you who just has everything handed to you and you cry and bitch and complain.
Yeah.
And he got booed for that.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, it was really weird. But I said, you know, in the first part of the show that I think that they're going to just do something where, like, whatever the outcome of the pay-per-view is going to be, MJF wins, LOL, that it's going to, like, pull MJF out of the storyline, and then it's going to be Cole and Kyle and Roddy doing all that sort of stuff. And that's why I like the Kyle thing with Cole there on the show. But I do get you that it sucked the life out of the crowd a little bit.
It just came across like just very weird. And Adam pointed out when it happened, like when O'Reilly saved them last week or something, and they tried to shake his hand and he wouldn't shake Cole or Strong's hand. But now he's coming out. He's like, your friends, they fight for you, Adam. Like, they love you. And I don't know. It was just weird. And then just, like, dropping the mic and walking away, and then Cole doesn't say anything either. Like, I don't know. To me, it just came across... and I think it's just partly I'm sick of this fucking storyline with MJF.
So the other thing that it made me think was that these three are not going to be in the Continental Classic because they're going to have their own little storyline bullshit together.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
I get you. Like, the more they reference that devil storyline and, like, everything that Cole did, I think is worse for them. And I hate repeating myself like we did earlier, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
The opening 8-man was really good.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was so old school to
Yeah.
me. Like
Yep.
the cutoffs, like just all the stuff, like Archer, like playing to the crowd on the
Dude,
outside.
Archer was the fucking MVP in that
Incredible.
match.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it came across on
Yeah.
TV, but he was like so great at working the apron, working the corner,
Yeah.
working the crowd when he wasn't in there doing shit.
I said to you what was happening. I said, like, a motivated Lance Archer is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't, for whatever reason, he has a hard time, getting that behind him. But, like, New Japan G1 Archer was awesome.
Yeah, that was a different
And
beast.
we've only seen, like, glimpses of it in AEW. So...
I think Archer needs to go to the black shorties like Cage has, and they need to be a matching look.
Yeah.
Divorced dads.
The divorced dads, the name of their team is Midlife Crisis. And I think I mentioned at the pay-per-view or at the TV, no matter who wins the 4-way, like, okay, it's great. Like, do you want to see Private Party lose the tag titles to Archer and Cage, or do you want to see the Outrunners lose the titles to Archer and Cage? Because that's who should be the next tag team champions.
Well, speaking of that, almost no hype for that match on any of the go-home stuff. There was a Private Party piece.
With
Big
AJ
Justice,
and
yeah.
Big Justice.
Yeah.
So no Outrunners, who are the most over crowd reaction wise tag team in the company. No House of Black.
Yeah, no acclaim.
No acclaimed
Nothing.
at all. And I was like, oh, maybe they'll save it for Rampage, because Rampage is a go home and there's no collision.
Well, sometimes, like a lot of times, the couple times that we've gone to TV, there's vignettes and stuff that they play on Rampage that we, the live crowd, don't get to see.
That's true.
So because like there was no Britt Baker either there,
well,
and we were postulating that
I wasn't going to bring that up.
we were postulating that they're going to do Britt Baker and Serena Deeb on the pre-show, because right now there's only one match on the pre-show, and unless AJ and QT Marshall are going 45 minutes,
Hey, listen, anything can happen in the All Elite Wrestling Federation.
yeah.
Dude, real quick back to the 8-man. I loved, like, Hobbs getting the knee taken out.
Yeah.
Getting help to the back and then hobbling back out and just being a house of fire.
That's an old school thing,
Dude,
too.
like I said, I'm like, oh, like, this is like Brett at the 94 Rumble. But really, it's like, no, this is like Owen at Canadian Stampede.
Yeah.
Like, hobbling back out, and then Owen gets a pin in that match, which is fucking unbelievable.
I do want to say that they announced Hobbs as 20 pounds lighter than Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Oof.
I think that's only because Randy Orton's taller.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
He's got a lot. He's gotten more frame to have that chicken and rice and Nutella on.
That is true.
I do like that Hobbs, the cut on his singlet is getting lower and lower towards his belly.
That's right.
That makes me happy.
He's another guy that needs to go to the shorties.
Absolutely. Pop the top, brother. What else?
But like, and then that match was really good. Like anytime,
it was awesome.
That Ospreay and Fletcher were in together, it was heated.
That was great.
And we got to see like a little bit of a sequence that they could do.
Uh-huh.
And I think either Brett or DJ, one of you were like, their match at the pay per view is going to be fucking unreal.
It's going to be match of the year. They're going to have match of the year on Saturday. There's no way they don't.
I pity the match that has to follow that. That what should follow that? The fucking Mina and
the
Mariah celebration thing.
Right,
Just as a cool down.
Nobody's going to boo that segment.
Nope.
Not if it's anything like any of the segments we saw tonight.
Well, we got the, and again, we're all over the place, but that's okay.
That's fine.
We got the backstage with the two of them shaking it like their business to set up a match on Rampage, which ends up being a tag match of the two of them on this week's Rampage against the makeshift team of Nyla Rose and the MVP of AEW, the MVP
100%.
of television in every way, shape, or form. The only person who worked twice tonight.
Yep.
Harley Cameron. Well, I don't know if she worked
No,
twice.
she worked twice.
No,
so we
no,
don't know what
somebody
you're talking
else.
about. Yeah.
Harley and Harley Graham.
Yeah, that was Harley Graham. I don't know what you're
Um,
talking about.
But that was a fun match.
Yeah.
You know, like obviously the dynamic was a little off because Nyla's position as a babyface on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harley Cameron fucking rules.
Harley
It's
Cameron fucking
unbelievable.
rules.
It's unreal. I can't believe I'm saying
I
that.
want to see a TV match, no pay-per-view, TV match Harley Cameron versus Mercedes Moné, and I want to hear that crowd come unfucking glued for
Absolutely.
every false finish to make
100%.
people believe. Like, do a world title eliminator
Yes.
with Harley Cameron, and like, and again, nobody wins the world title eliminators. I think Anna Jay was the first person and only person in history to win one.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, man. Like, would it hurt to have Harley Cameron pin Sasha Banks in a non-title match?
No, you're going down the wrong way.
Yay.
All right.
We're good.
All right.
Dangerous.
Sorry, guys, a little kerfuffle there.
That's all right.
That is the worst turn because I've come through here
Oh,
a bunch of
absolutely.
times. Yeah.
I got us there.
Dangerous.
Is this my green? I think so.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is
Fuck.
now.
Fuck yeah. The
Good,
joint,
good thing there's nobody out on the road in Tamaqua at
Don't-
1:02 in the
that
morning.
better not be cut out. I want that feature
I
at
ain't
the top of the
cutting shit
show.
out.
I was gonna say DJ's gonna send me a file,
Yep.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna send the file to Adam to put up on the Patreon, and I'm gonna put it up on the main show.
I just fucking Dukes of Hazzard in the car in the middle
Yeah,
of
you did.
Tamaqua.
Yeah.
Why would I cut that out?
You need me,
That was pretty
made me
badass.
crush my animal crackers.
Country Mac right now.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That was sick. I made a noise. I don't even know what the fuck came out of me when that happened.
I will say I tensed up, and I think I pulled a muscle in my leg. Just so you know. Yeah, like at the back of my knee hurts real bad right now.
Joe, how did you tear your ACL?
I got scared.
I braced myself because DJ was doing the speed limit in the rain down the wrong way of a one-way street at 1 o'clock in the morning in beautiful downtown Tamaqua.
You know, I saw the do not enter sign and I was like, that can't possibly be for me, right?
you were fucking going for it.
That sign said, "No, baby, this sign's not for you. It's for somebody else."
Like I saw it, and I go, "Oh, he's doing it, huh? All right, well, fuck it."
I was like, they must mean this weird other way that I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So back on track. Claudio versus Darby was really good.
Yeah, it was great.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm surprised Claudio won.
I'm shocked. He kind of fucking dog walked Darby too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm glad Claudio won though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say this: I did watch the clip on social media. Him throwing Darby into the darkness, into the little pit there,
Yeah.
looked crazier live than it did on TV.
Bummer.
TV, it still looked really cool because
Yeah.
people were freaking out on it. But like seeing it there live, it looked like Darby was dead.
Yeah, it really did. He was like wrapped up in the covering of the table. It looked like Claudio put him to sleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it was fucking awesome.
And I think this was done to eliminate Darby as a factor for the pay-per-view.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense.
Also, another thing, and this is a nitpick for me, and I think you guys picked up on it as well. We had 2 matches tonight that had babyface barely makes it in by the 10 count.
Yeah.
After taking something on the
Back to back.
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in back-to-back matches, there's a sheet that we write this shit down on, and there's finishes and stuff, and so the thing that a lot of people were complaining about is stuff like the finishes, stuff like that, and also all the backstage skits. They were saying the whole thing is it's very 2019 WWF or 2010 WWF. And I get it, but it's easy to critique and say, I don't like the backstage stuffs. But it's another thing to think of new ways to do backstage stuff.
yeah.
One thing that I think that WWE got away from, AEW got away from is doing so many in-ring promos unless it just, Adam Cole comes out, he has to do the whole thing because he
Sure.
needs it as part of his entrance. But the Roddy thing was on the ramp.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the promos for the people that are live in front of the crowd are on the ramp now instead of in the ring.
Yeah.
I mentioned this on the show. Charles, who does the Pro Wrestling Only.
Oh,
Yeah. So he had said on Center Stage Chronicles recently that back in the day, you would have either the stage or WWF would have the little side stage or like Brother Love Show or whatever the fuck it was. And if somebody did a promo in the ring, it like meant something because it didn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
But wrestling over the last like 25 years, promos should happen in the ring all the time. And it's going to be tough to just wean yourself off of that just because like it's easy to say like, oh, you know, like I love Mid-South and I love Memphis and I love these sort of things. And it's great to love those things, but it's another thing to actually implement them in what you're doing on TV. It's easier said than done.
Well, look at even like Nitro, how many times they had interviews like in front of the stage.
Yep.
You know, they were like notorious for that. So him bringing up like when, you know, used to be a promo in the ring like really meant something, I agree with that 100%.
More times than not, the only people that caught, you know, promos in the ring were the NWO.
NWO, yep. Yeah. That's a great point.
Didn't they say in their announcement for like the next year with like the new set and stuff where they're like, oh, we're gonna make it like a more like a sporting event kind of thing? Like, do you think they're gonna make a designated?
Yeah, I don't know what they mean by that.
Like a designated promo area, sort of like old like Georgia Championship Wrestling or wherever, where like there's a backdrop and they go over there, but it'll also be shown on like so you'll see it live.
Well, you could just do it on the stage.
Yeah,
like you don't need to, you know, have a like they should bring in an interview segment sort of thing. Remember, I think we talked about it on the show during like the early days of the pandemic where Britt Baker had
the office or whatever the fuck it was.
With today's AEW roster, who do you give that Brother Love Piper's Pit-esque?
Big Stoke.
Yeah.
Stokes.
Okay.
Yeah, Stokes my answer too.
Absolutely Stoke.
Yeah. Yes.
Have it be like a barber shop or something.
Yeah. Speaking of Stoke, what the fuck like
don't you remember he got kidnapped?
Oh yeah, but that security guard.
And there was no hook
yeah,
or anything tonight.
Well, see, I don't care
Christian.
I don't care that Hook it wasn't there and Christian wasn't there because they're not on the pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, they didn't add anything to the pay-per-view
Yeah, so
tonight.
it's like I'm glad like there wasn't enough time given to promote the pay-per-view, so like why put in more people that aren't on the PPV?
Well,
You know?
they did promote Jericho and Ishii for next week.
Which also is a big head scratcher. It's like let's promote an episode of Dynamite. You know, again, I don't know.
I think
it's better than promoting Jericho for the pay-per-view.
I think they did it just simply because there's no Collision this week.
Yeah.
Because that had like Collision written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, that segment actually ended up being like pretty fucking good.
It got a great reaction from the crowd. You know,
Ishii just stalking him through the backstage out into the crowd or
I
in the
really
arena.
like that.
That was good.
When Jericho said that he had to have his lawyers look everything over, I was hoping we were going to get a Marky cameo,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
alas.
Or at least a Frank Mordos.
Oh,
that would have been incredible. What else happened?
Oh, we were saying that Ishii needs to be in the Continental Classic.
Yeah, he does.
You know, obviously Ishii is like the perennial loser, but he's a perennial guy who has like really good to great matches.
Yeah, with everyone.
Everybody.
Yeah, and that starts next Wednesday, right? The Continental Classic. I wonder when they're going to do the.
Well, remember last year they did
graphics.
like a Wednesday afternoon thing where it was Tony and
Eddie
Kingston.
Yeah.
I
that's
was thinking or hoping that because Kingston won it last year, like he gets to come out and like do something.
That'd be cool,
right?
Yeah.
Even though he's still hurt, he's gonna be out till May, allegedly. Maybe he is out till May. But you know, just to do something like have Kingston be the one that like acknowledges last year's and like says like you know, it was a big deal for me to win, so it's gonna be a big deal for whoever wins this year.
Yeah.
Okada comes out and calls him a bitch and does the Mercedes Monet dance.
Oh yeah, baby.
That's what we all want.
Yeah. I thought Sheeta's stat was pretty decent tonight.
Oh, I thought that was really good.
You know,
crowd was split. You know, obviously because babyface.
Yeah.
Well,
and Sheeta did so much heavy lifting for that division.
Yeah.
In the very beginning,
Yeah,
that
she
she's
really
just
did.
always going to be loved for it.
Yeah.
So that's tough, but it was good. It was fun.
Mercedes Monet having to open up the heel playbook of insulting the sports team.
That's right.
You know, insulting Philadelphia when you're in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Brett didn't care. Brett was about ready to buy a Celtics jersey. He was doing his little dance.
I was, baby. Yeah, I'll tell you what, like, Stat getting the better of Mercedes was a good look.
Yep.
You know, I thought, like, because Sheeta was hanging around, and I'm like, oh no, is Sheeta gonna jump stat and like join up with Mercedes?
No,
here,
oh my god, that would be like the worst idea ever.
But they don't. Yeah, but they don't really use Sheeta a lot. Well, I mean, this is what her first. I think like her first match since the Mercedes debacle.
Maybe.
And that's how many months ago already?
Like 2.
Yeah. So she hasn't been on TV. You know.
I don't know, man. Like they have, it's always so tough to get everyone on TV.
It is,
because I was even thinking, like, they do the 2 weeks of Rampage, and they did the bit with Harley Graham, right? And like, remember Hologram was like getting a push, and he was undefeated and everything else like that.
He's hurt.
Well, he's hurt,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Like we know that,
Yeah.
but like, it's like, oh, where's this guy that I liked that did a bunch of cool shit and he was beating everybody, and now he's just off TV, right? And I think a lot of times, a lot of people always say they need to bring back like the old school Jim Ross report.
Oh,
where like
wow.
on the WWF website, like JR would be like, oh, here's who's injured, here's who's out doing this, and here's who's out doing that. So at least like you would know like why your favorites are not on TV for some reason.
Right.
That's a very good idea.
That's a good idea for sure.
Or at the very least, just have them get jumped out backstage.
Or something.
Yeah.
Jump them in the NXT parking lot.
I thought the Bob Lashley Swerve stuff was really good.
It was.
Cheeseburger, number 4 on the most over list of motherfuckers on that show.
Real.
Every time he shows up, it's Philly or it's here or wherever.
So over.
They go fucking crazy. It's awesome. Cheeseburger rules.
And Lashley just murdered him with a Dominator.
Yes.
I'm so happy he's using the Dominator. I love that move.
I'm glad that he's using it without bumping forward.
Yeah. Yep. Doing it Ron Simmons style, baby. That match is going to be fucking awesome. Swerve and Bob Lashley.
Yeah, for sure.
I cannot wait for that.
And
crowd
that
was
was
so into Swerve.
And that was another one where like they let Swerve not only outsmart the Hurt Syndicate, but also get up on Bob Lashley as well.
Yeah.
And get away. And that shot, man, like I don't know how it comes across on TV, but like being like almost dead across from it when Swerve's in the crowd.
Yep.
And like they got the light on him, and you just got all those people going nuts around him.
Yeah, with the Who's House, Swerve's House. Oh, it was awesome.
Like that was such a cool moment live. I hope that
Yeah.
translated on TV.
Yeah, me too.
But I like the show, man. Like
I did too.
Yeah, I thought even through all the rampages, pretty much everything we saw, I was like, man, this is cool stuff.
yeah.
Obviously, there's issues. There's stuff that I wish they did better. But like that's any wrestling company. I mean, I've had that same problem since I was 14. I'm like,
Yeah.
So like, I thought it was a fun show. Maybe not the best go home show they've done, but the wrestling on it was solid and fun. The bits were good. Like I think we saw everybody. Like when we got to the end of the second rampage, I was like, who else is there to even wrestle?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pretty cool.
Well, again,
night.
obviously they couldn't put like you know what? I'll say this. You, DJ, mentioned before that there was no Outrunners, no House of Black.
Right.
No
Acclaimed.
Acclaimed. They should have had a match on Rampage.
Yes, that's what I thought they were doing.
Yeah.
And they just never paid it off.
Like they
Weird.
just could have had a smusher match.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen the Outrunners on Rampage.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would have
absolutely.
been perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. Well, that kind of leads to a question that we have here.
Oh, okay.
A Tim Taylor question. All right. So Tim says, "Hey, we need add-ons. Very simple question for you. If all external factors were accounted for, like cost, travel, etc., would you rather watch wrestling as a part of the live crowd, or would you rather watch it from the comfort of your own home? Do the positives of the live experience nullify the bad ones, like hygiene, bad fans, tight arrangements for the plus-size delegation, etc.?" Adam, we'll start with you. How do you feel about that?
As someone who is like in excruciating pain right now, I think I'm leaning towards like preferring to watch it like on a couch where I can get up and walk around and run to the bathroom. But that's just me and my terrible situation of my knees.
If you were pain free,
What's that?
what if you were pain free?
If I can sit in one spot for 5 hours, I would probably rather see it live.
Okay, DJ.
Easiest question Tim's ever asked on any show. Live. Wrestling's meant to be watched live. It's it is
just where it belongs. Hygiene, as long as you're not next to a ketchup smelling motherfucker.
He was there tonight, that son of a bitch.
But
fucking haunts me.
To me, it's meant to be a live sporting event. That's when it's at its best. And if you guys want to settle in for a dissertation, I'll explain to you all why I feel leaving the territory system and going national on television ruined professional wrestling.
Thank you, Terry Funk.
So, but yeah, live, Tim, all the way.
Joe, how about you?
So I'm live with the caveat, of course, and Tim is like all these other things being what they are. I like the size of tonight's crowd. I have a feeling, I'll like the size of what the crowd for Full Gear will be. But just as an example, I wouldn't have wanted to go to Wembley.
No.
Because, unless I got to pick the exact seat that I wanted to, because, Wembley or, a WrestleMania or something like that, it's such a big crowd. It's not the same experience as it is, a 5,000, 7,000, 10,000, 15-seater. Once you're, over 50...
Yeah.
You might as well just be sitting at home watching
That's true.
Yeah.
We had so many friends of ours when Mania was in Philly this year. They're like, "Oh man, you going to Mania in Philly?" I'm like, "No, I'm going to sit on my fucking couch and watch it because I don't have to drive 2 hours. I don't have to pay for parking, sit in the parking lot, have a shit seat where I'm just essentially staring at a screen if I have decent sight lines to begin with." But that being said, a bigger show like a Mania, I would love to be able to go. How we go up to DJs, where it's a ton of people, it's raucous, and that's as close to that live, watching experience as it is. But, I would absolutely rather live experience, tons of fans, just less than 40,000.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Anything within 2.5, I'm always I want to go. It's just, I don't know. I just love live wrestling. As a fan live, I'm not the most vocal. I kind of like to sit there and just take in the crowd and everything.
You keep your fucking jokes to yourself.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not a crowd comedian.
I tried to make a case today that there should be a policy to ban crowd persistent crowd comedians. If you're just trying to make jokes the entire show, no, you should be kicked out.
Yeah.
You should be warned.
If there's a group of 5 of you and you sit front row and everything, and all you do is heckle and yell and interrupt matches, you shouldn't be allowed at wrestling shows.
That was different. That was barely wrestling. A bunch of dumbasses.
Well, it was a different time. You can't judge.
That's right.
Yeah. God, I fucking hate crowd comedians.
But to Joe's point, too, watching wrestling at a house with a group of people is an incredible thing and does beat watching wrestling by yourself by a mile.
Yeah, wrestling is... don't get me wrong, I like watching wrestling by myself, but I don't think it's meant to be watched by itself.
Yeah.
Especially live wrestling on big events.
If you're watching something you've watched before or old wrestling.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But for example, the Royal Rumble last year.
Yeah.
That was fucking crazy at your house.
Yeah, it was. I won money.
Especially because there was gambling happening,
It was.
too.
But live, too, tonight, it was cool to hear the kids yelling. And, the one kid was yelling for Suzuki, and their parent was like, that's Takeshita.
That made me very happy.
I'm not a... I don't have children. I'm not a huge fan of children. I did not like children even when I was one.
There you go.
But something about being at a wrestling show and hearing kids freak out about wrestling makes me really happy. And I like that to hearing parents that support that, who are wrestling fans or aren't, but their kids are. It's super cool. We did that when we went to TNA. We had that little girl behind us.
Oh, she was awesome.
That's a lot of fun live because I remember being that young and being that crazy into wrestling and not knowing what I know now. So it was just such a cool thing to hear to kids.
Trust me, I cannot wait until WWE announces that they're coming back to the arena.
Yeah,
I don't think it's happening anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't either, unfortunately. But my brother-in-law was like, we got to take the kids.
Yeah,
I was like, absolutely, because they're gonna go fucking ballistic, and it's gonna be so cool. I remember going to the was it the March Center at Wilkes?
Yep, for the TV.
For Superstars. And, I remember that shit very vividly still. And, they're old enough, they'll remember it, and I think it's going to be really cool. But yes, I agree. Tim, thank you very much for the question. I look forward to your answer for you and Marcus on Final Wrestling Place this week, pal. Was there anything else we wanted to touch on about the live show tonight?
Good merch selection. We didn't buy anything, but it was a nice big selection of different stuff.
Yeah, they definitely upped their merch game.
For sure.
Oh, one last thing. So we got the follow-up from the video from Collision when Garcia and Daddy Magic stole the Jungle Jack van.
Yeah.
And they kidnapped him. My favorite part of it is like we're seeing more where they're like have him tied to a chair and they're whatever. And then
So what about me? What about Jungle Boy?
and they're spitting in each other's mouths like I predicted they would.
Spit play, baby.
And DJ turns to me, he's like, "Is Jungle Boy supposed to be Raven?"
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, "He's supposed to have been Raven like for weeks now."
Yeah.
Yes. And he's very bad at it.
Yeah,
He's not even like goofing around Raven when him and Saturn were a team in 1999 WCW.
Yeah.
You know, where he was like still Raven, but he was like making jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
Jungle Boy stinks.
Yeah, he is not good. There's nothing he does that I like at all.
No, nothing. Like he doesn't have it. He doesn't get it. This like tough guy but aloof character doesn't work. Like he can't. Like the reason why I asked you if he was supposed to be Raven is because like this is the first week I noticed it. That's like how bad he is. But like this week he was so obviously playing Raven.
Yep.
I was like, oh, okay.
It's one thing to try to emulate Raven, which I think like anyone could do, but like the reasons like why.
Yeah.
Remember pre-pandemic before we knew who the Exalted One of the Dark Order was, and Raven was just sitting in the crowd and they brawled by him
Yep.
at a show and they didn't even mention it, and he's like, "Oh, it's a red herring. That's going to be Raven, right?" And your opinion of Raven in 2024 may vary, right? But I definitely think like he could be a guy that, if paid the right amount of money and he takes it seriously, could be a good consultant.
I agree.
To help guys like that. You know, obviously when he did like the Ravens Wrestler Rescue and he's like, "You're gonna be Dr. Acula." You know, and he was being a goofball. And that could work, but I definitely think there's guys that have a place that are untapped potential for if you're like, "Oh, I want this character to be like Raven." It's like, well, go get fucking Raven and try to have him work with this guy to like understand like why what he's doing currently to ape Raven isn't working, and maybe like you could help him figure it out. Or maybe figure out that he'll never figure it out. And instead of wasting this kid's potential or whatever his potential may or may not be in a character that does not fit him.
Do you think he can go back to like the Jungle Boy character or like a
He needs to be off TV for at least 3 months. You know, obviously you could do they could do a bit, you know, obviously everyone's speculating that at some point the Bucks are going to come back as like babyface elite to try to take on the Blackpool Combat Club. I think
Yay.
It just gets fucking smeared.
you take Bucks off TV. They're off TV already. I can't believe we're going to have a pay-per-view without a Bucks match on it, you know?
How about
No
that?
Bucks, no Jericho.
I know, oh my God.
Yeah.
But
No
you take
FTR. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
you take Jericho off, or you take Jungle Boy off TV, and then whenever the Bucks come back, like Kenny's the first one that comes back. Oh, you're outnumbered. The Bucks come back. Oh, you're still outnumbered. And then not greaseball scapegoat Jack Perry comes back, like more clean-cut babyfaces one comes back, and you have that as your 4-on-4 match somewhere down the road.
I can see that.
You know, and that's a way to like get Jungle Boy off TV. Forget about the scapegoat stuff,
Ugh.
Yeah.
and you
so
know maybe
bad.
this will click. Like maybe as a babyface it'll click. I don't know. This ain't clicking.
No, for sure it's not.
Now then the question comes up is like, okay, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Jungle Boy retains the title
Right.
at the pay-per-view.
Ugh.
So let's say Jungle Boy retains the title at the pay-per-view. Then what?
I don't know.
Yeah, where do you go with both of them?
Right.
I mean, you can't really put Garcia in the Continental Classic again.
Yeah, I think you could.
I don't know. Like, he had such, like, that fun story last year where he finally beat Brody King. And now he's supposed to be taken as, like, a real threat.
Yeah, well, and he was half involved in the Moxley stuff, but now he's not.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
But, like, you can't put Jack Perry in the Continental Classic.
Oh, God, no.
Like, that's a waste of a spot.
yeah, I mean, that's the Chase Owens spot. You just don't fucking do that.
Ew.
And there shouldn't be a Chase Owens spot in this.
No, there shouldn't be a Chase Owens spot anywhere.
No, it shouldn't be a Chase Owens.
Chase Owens is currently teaming with Kenta in the New Japan World Tag League.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Woof.
But, like, I think there's a more clear-cut path. Garcia wins. He's the TNT champion.
Yeah.
And then you build him up, and, like, that becomes the TV title again, and he defends it on TV, like, every week or every other week or whatever it is, right? Kind of does what Edge does. And maybe even you do a gimmick whenever Edge is ready to go. Edge comes back, and you do Edge and Garcia.
Yeah.
There you
Right.
go.
But Jungle Boy retaining is a bad move because it kills two characters,
Yeah.
at least. Jungle Boy needs to be off TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It doesn't
he's
work.
very aimless at this
Not
point.
in the same way that MJF. Like, MJF needs to be off TV and never come back.
because he's so good at
Right.
acting.
Hollywood Oscars are in his future, not title belts, right?
Hell yeah.
You mean like Oscar Mayer?
Yeah.
That's about it.
And a nice hot dog tan like Bad Terry has.
Ugh.
Oh, I explained to my wife the other day that we call Hulk Hogan Bad Terry.
Yeah.
Because I guess it came up, like there was a thing where, the thing that you had mentioned on the show last week about whoever that news commentator
Yeah.
was that said, like, Bad Terry should be whatever.
A senator or some shit.
And I was explaining that to my wife, and she goes, "Why are you calling Hulk Hogan Bad Terry?" And I had to explain that to her, and she
Okay.
got a kick out of that. She's like, "Oh, I like that."
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't got anything else.
No, I think that's about it, right?
It was a good time at the matches.
Yeah, Joe, thank you as always.
Oh,
man.
I try,
we
listen.
appreciate it to no end, for real.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And then here we are. We got the pay-per-view coming up on
Fuck
Saturday
yeah,
too,
dude.
baby.
Oh,
Right?
I can't wait. This is our second Full Gear we're going to.
Yep.
Yep.
New Jersey tradition. I love it. All right. I don't know. What plugs? Are we just going to plug each other?
Oh, hey.
What kind of a show is this?
Like it was coming right at me. Was that the line?
It's like it was leading the charge.
Leading the charge. There you go.
All right. Yeah.
Soon to be named network,
There-
right?
yeah. Soon
Go
to be
check out
named
the shows.
network.com.
It'll be on every social media that you can possibly get it across. We're all on Blue Sky. We're all on Twitter.
Remember
It'll be
Mastodon?
on the Tumblr.
Remember
It'll be on your
Mastodon?
RSS feed. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Enjoy your Thursday, even though this will be out on Friday, right? When's this coming out? Friday?
No, I mean, I'm going to drop this tomorrow
Like
as soon as we get it.
whenever I get the file, I'm going to send it to
Thursday.
Adam. I'm going to write up the post,
all right, well-
and it's just going to go out.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy it.
Enjoy your weekend?
Because we enjoy each other.
Oh.
So, yeah. Let's
When we're plugging each other, we really
plug
enjoy
it and enjoying each other's company.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, like, I need anabolic steroids
From this doctor.
right
I'm
now.
afraid that my heart's going to stop. Yeah, go listen to Final Wrestling Place. Listen to Longbox Heroes After Dark.
Buy some hot sauce.
Yeah, you can buy Wings on Wings hot sauce, which I still haven't cracked my bottle open of that because I'm afraid to because it's so
DJ, I
fucking
need
spicy.
3 bottles.
I know, I heard.
Okay, I need 3.
I'll hook you up Saturday.
All right, cool.
I got them. They're at the house.
I'll have money for you.
Yeah, $10 a bottle.
What other podcasts do you plug, Adam?
Just a soon to be named network, so
Okay.
it's just,
It's all of us.
Longbox Hero, Porch Talk,
Porch Talk.
High
baby.
publicity speed.
Yeah. I cut Ed out of there. You gotta have an episode more than once every
Well,
like
that's true.
6 months.
He's gotta earn that
Ed shows up
contract.
on the stink sheet, and they're maniacs over on the stink sheet.
This
So
is true.
go listen to them when they
That's a
come out.
fact.
If any of these shows have Patreons, go sign up for their Patreons.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Support them. Just share it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Support them financially, spiritually, emotionally.
Oh, I got an Amazon link for the show.
You have a click through?
Yeah, I don't know.
You have a
I don't know.
click-through?
I don't know how to use it though. I like the affiliate program. I think I have to name individual products now. I don't know. I'll have to look more into it. But I did sign up and get approved for the show.
Oh,
for
baby.
WeNeedWrestling. Wrestling. So
Wow.
Just be very careful with that.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't know how any of that
I'm not
shit
gonna. Well, I'm
works.
not gonna say a thing on the air.
no,
then.
not on the air.
All right. Well, then that means that we're about to be off the air. So
Yeah, to another Patreon time.
yeah. Bye.
You're listening to the soon-to-be named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Knock it off, nerds!